Okay, go ahead.
Shabbat shalom, family. Shabbat shalom. Let's get moving. Let's go. Welcome to another show. Everybody. Beautiful land at Temple Kefari. I'm Prince Kazardo. We're about to get moving. Let's go. On my YouTube channel, Shabbat Night Dog. This is the guy right here. Huh? This is the guy who sings Top O right here. That is me. That is me. People know what inspired you? What inspired you to write that song? Right, Gabo? I mean, it's glory to God, man. All that. That's it. That's it.
That's it. You want me to share another one?
All right. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Nasik, you got this?
Okay. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Welcome to another Shabbat. Thank you for rain. If you have yet to do so, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to kind of be low today, you all. I'm in the library. But if you all would, if you haven't yet, please like, share, and subscribe. This is the portion of the class, of the two classes, where we give honor and praise to the Most High. So please go ahead and chat, put what you're thankful for. Give honor and praise to the Most High. We will share it. We will read it. And I'm not sure if are we able to put a link in for those that come on, or can we still do that? Okay. We'll put a link in the chat so that you all can come on live if you want to give honor from your own mouth. You can share yourself on the screen, or you can close your screen if you don't want to be seen. But we prefer that you be seen. All right. So please, those on the panel, if you want to give honor and praise, please do so. Those that's watching, If you want to give honor and praise, we will read it and share it for you. All right? Shabbat Shalom. We have Chief Malach. He says, Shabbat Shalom, Prince Kez, Moreh. Shabbat Shalom, Nasik, Rashi Shema, Lechol, and to everyone or to all, Baruch Elohim.
Shabbat Shalom, Chief. Shabbat Shalom.
All right. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Princess Padiah. Shabbat Shalom, Geber Autumn. And again, I think I said if I haven't, Shabbat Shalom, Boker Prince.
Shabbat Shalom, Melanin Empowerment TV.
I did the wrong one. I thought it was
Who?
for me.
That was my Isha. She did the wrong YouTube channel, but she went and said it in the other one.
All right. Shabbat Shalom, Asa. So anyway, Shabbat Shalom, Nasika Muna.
Okay.
Abba, Shabbat Shalom, Abba.
Shabbat Shalom, beloved. How are you all today?
All right.
You got your Mishnah Fet, your turban on. I see you.
Okay.
Maniroe Orcha.
Hey, yo fay.
All right, you all, again, those that's coming in right now, please make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you share. This is the moment to give honor and praise to the Most High. I'm sure we all have something to give honor and praise to the Most High about. So please take this moment. Is anyone present on the panel that want to give honor and praise?
Well, I can go first. I give praise to our Creator Most High, Creator of all that is, for all that He's done, for all that He's doing and yet going to do in and through us, His people, His chosen people. Appreciate Him for all that He's brought us through in this year, for my late Mora, my late Isha, Aliyah Yaakov, for their wisdom and for the empowerment that she put forth and the teachings that she brought forth and that are still resonating in the earth to this day. May her memory be blessed. Appreciate the Creator for my Beulah family. Much love to you all always. To Temple Kefarim, to Prince Kizaradar, Princess Medaya, and the beloved family there. To my Beni and my Bena. I may have said that incorrectly, but I'm sure Nasik will correct me on that. But for Bema Azan and for all that the Creator is doing in and through them in this hour, and just grateful for my Mishpachah, the Mishpachah for the nation, but for my blood family and for the family that the Creator is bringing to me for healing, for strength, for love, and for again finding love, and for growth, and for all that He's bringing to me in this hour. I'm really thankful for a mind to live right, to serve Him, and I say that because a lot of people that I deal with on a daily basis do not have or have lost the mental capacity to make rational decisions on their own. And so many are that were great, well-functioning members of our society, were mothers and fathers, are now in the care of their children, and many do not even recognize their children on a daily basis. And so this is very disheartening. But I truly do thank the Creator for being cognizant of who He is, who I am in Him, and to be able to give Him praise of my own accord. And I'm just truly so thankful for Him and for what He's doing, and for the love that He has brought to my life, and for the extension of and the growth of my family, and for what He's doing in and through us in this hour, and even in the ministry and in the works, and for being able to establish His word in this land, in this hour. The Creator is doing a great and a wonderful thing through us, and like I say, there's none like Him, and I truly give Him praise for my parents for bringing me forth, because without them I would not be here. So I'm truly thankful to them, and for my Ima, who's still in the land of the living. And so I'm just truly grateful for what He's doing. Looking forward to the lesson on today, thanking him for the Shabbat, a time of rest, a time of recuperation, and a time of recovery, and for the blessings that he's bringing, for the provision that he's making in each and every one of our lives. The Creator is doing some great things. A lot of times they may not be readily recognized because of different things that we may be going through or we may be facing. But nonetheless, as long as we trust in him, he's always going to guide us. As long as we lean to him and lean to his wisdom and not our own, we'll be okay. We're going to be fine. And let his will be ours and our will be his. And I yield. Shalom. Love you all.
May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. May the Most High be praised.
Toda for that. We have Chief Malach again says, thankful to the Creator for the Creator. Thankful to the Creator for the Creator. I like that. Thankful to the Creator for the life of my mother. Though my father is gone, blessed be his name, Baruch Elohim Adonai. Thankful for awareness of Creator's laws. All praises to the Most High.
Be praised. Toda Rabbah.
Okay.
You know I'm not all there today, Nasik. My mind is somewhere else. I don't know where it is, but it's not all there right now.
That's best of there. Best of there. Anachnu holakim la'asot et zeh. We're going to do this anyway.
Toda Rabbah.
Those that's tuning in again, please, if you have yet to do so, we see more people are coming in right now. Please hit them likes. Let me click this and see how we got 3 likes, y'all. We need at least 7 to 10 more likes, y'all. Take the moment, press like if you haven't. Shabbat shalom to Zakena Sakari. Greetings. Had a little issue getting on today, family. Grateful to the Most High for the endurance and the will to be present among his faithful. Toda.
May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah.
All right, more people coming in, so that means more likes, more shares. All right, hit that reminder button so you know when we're coming on. Tippah Kifarim is coming on and bringing you what you need. All right. Those on the panel, is there anyone else that want to give honor and praise to the Most High? Please do so now.
Okay, Shabbat Shalom, Lakulam, Shabbat Shalom, Mishpachah. All praises to the Most High, Ha Elohim, for making it through another week. This week has been very interesting for my family and I. I have not been able to go to work this week, and more time spent with our son, so that's beautiful. But we're really just waiting to see what the Creator will do for us when it comes to my work situation. So just having patience with that. I'm thankful for definitely my father and mother for same reason for bringing me here, being in my life, I'm thankful that they are still in the land of the living and our grandparents and able to experience their first grandchild. That is a major, major, major blessing that I prayed for. And I'm thankful that it's here and it's come to pass. I'm thankful for the opportunity to be able to even visit and still go see them while they're still here, and all of my family that lives a few states away. So I'm thankful for the opportunity to just like still be here, still be alive, up and accounted for. I'm thankful for my family down in Beulah, for my sisters, for my sister wife, for my husband. I'm thankful for my sisterhood, the sisterhood chat. You want to say shalom? You say you can't see, but he's smiling at the camera right now. But yeah, I'm just thankful to be here and have another day to get things right, and another day to praise the Most High and just do what I'm called to do to fulfill my purpose on this earth, whatever that might be. And I'm thankful for the opportunity to get to know the Creator. In the little way that I do know him, I'm thankful for that even. And that should not be taken for granted for at all. I'm thankful that he opened my eyes when he did, and for the steps that I've taken to get here spiritually. I'm thankful for his mercy and compassion, his grace, and all throughout my life and throughout my family and friends' lives. And I'm thankful that he is merciful and kind and forgiving. I'm thankful for his character, so that way we may know who we can strive to be like, because we are his children. So Toda Rabah and Zehu. Shalom.
Toda Rabbah, may the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah.
Toda for that, Gebert. And shalom to the little prince. I hear him making some noises. All right, we have Azante Tariq. He says Shabbat Shalom, Mishpachah. Today I am grateful for the Father and how he takes care of us as his children. Thankful for life, my immediate and extended family. Thankful for the ability to be present.
May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah.
All right, you all, don't be shy. Don't be shy. We got more people that came in. Please hit them likes. We need about at least, there we go. We got 2 more. We need about at least 8 more likes here. We're missing 8 likes. Let's get it going. And also take this time to give honor and praise to the Most High. Please, this is the moment. Maybe you have a busy life. This is a great opportunity to utilize this rest day, this rest to cease from your normal, whatever it might be in your life, and just praise the Most High. Praise the Most High because he gave you a time of rest, reflect, gave you a time to really think on him, when we should be thinking on the Most High every day anyway. But this day is supposed to be for us to really just rest all across the board. All right, so give honor and praise. Give honor and praise. Toda, Chief Malak. Let's all follow suit. All right, anybody else on the panel that want to give honor and praise while we wait on others?
I did want to say quickly, I do want to apologize as I was addressing the panel for my oversight. I did not address I quote Autumn. Charge it to my head and not my heart. I do give the creative thanks for her and for my nephew, for baby cares. I can't wait to get a chance to hold him and see him and hug him and kiss him and just love on him, and just looking forward to that opportunity. But again, charge it to my head and not to my heart, because I do think the creative for you as well. So likely.
Oh, Toda Rabah.
All right, we got Adon, Yahoo. Shabbat Shalom, Mishpachah. I'm thankful for family as always. Thankful for a peace of mind through chaos. I thank the Most High for his mercy, his love, and living portions of his knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Okay. I like the peace of mind through chaos part. We're gonna touch on that a little bit today. I think we'll see, but I appreciate that. All right, anyone else?
Oh, I was on mute. Say it again.
May the Most High be praised.
Yeah, you're on mute, Prince.
He's speaking through mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I heard him a little bit.
Yes, I wanted to give thanks and praises first and foremost to the Most High, creator of all things and everything, for once again bringing us to another Shabbat day, to bringing us to his appointed day. Thankful to the creator for Imam Abba, for the dedication they had to their people, to our people, to whom they call on as a creator, showing me, to have discipline and determination in who you are. Grateful to the creator that he has allowed my father to be with me in this time and be within our community. Grateful to the creator for my Ish and all that he provides, and the guidance and the level of discipline that he also exemplifies with his relationship with the creator, and his faith in who the creator is. Grateful to the creator for providing such a beautiful family in this community that we are building, that we have developed together. Grateful that the Most High has allowed those who are here to be here in this time, because so many prominent things are happening at this time within each and every one of us. I'm grateful to the Most High for my family, for my brothers and sisters, my aunts and uncles and cousins. Grateful to just all the things that he has blessed us with. This week has been like a roller coaster of emotions, but most importantly, has been enlightening and strengthening. And I'm grateful that the Most High has sustained my Abba's life. And at this next stage of his caring, you know, I pray that he continues to strengthen us. I was telling my siblings last night that this process feels good, but it still is like you know, just to know where we are, you know. And, you know, we don't know final days, only the Creator does. But I think we're all finding comfort, a little comfort, in being able to prepare for those final days better than I would say we prepared for when my mother and my Ima passed. And you know, it doesn't take away the pain of the loss, but it helps you, I believe. For me, I know I can't speak for everyone, but for me, it helps to actually, you know, be prepared with certain things, certain manners. So I would implore all of us to have those conversations with our families. It doesn't matter how old or young you are in age, but to have those preparations, you know, to know where your family member wants to be buried when they pass, to know what type of burial they want, to know what not to do, you know, if they want to be on life support or how many times they maybe want to be resuscitated. All these things are so important, because when a person is at their end and they can't speak for themselves, and a family member decides out of emotion what to do, it can be more torturous to that person who is at the end. And you think you're doing something, but it's really in so many ways a selfish act, because you're holding on for yourself. But that person's body, their mind, all those things, you know, are leaving. And you have to think about what's best for them at that point. So having the conversations ahead of time helps. And that's one thing I told, I was telling my uncle recently, that we need to have the conversations now while we're all not emotional about my father, or not so emotional, let me say it like that. So that when the time comes, no one's arguing, no one's unsure, even though it is written that I make the final decision and all these things, it still can be a very emotional process, and people can still want what they want. So having those conversations are very important. And like I said, for me, it is helpful, because then it's, I already know what's to be expected versus trying to figure it out, you know, at the last minute. So, and I know my husband has spoken on this before, life insurance, all these things are so important to have this stuff documented and shared with the people who will be able to make those decisions. And that's the point too, picking the right people to make the decision. Because even when you have a big family, you have to make sure you pick the right person or couple of people that'll make the decision that's best for you at that time. And yeah, so Zehu, I pray all is well with everyone, and Toda Rabah to the Most High for this day.
May the Most High be praised.
You want to do?
May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Can you guys hear me?
Okay.
All right.
All right. If you would, please make sure you like, share, subscribe. Also, make sure you say something. Come on, make some. Give thanks and praise to the Most High. Don't be afraid. You know,
Brother,
praise to the Most High. Shalom, Adon, Asa. You're muted. If you're talking, you're muted.
Everyone, it's a beautiful day. It's a bright, wonderful morning here in Cayman, and I'm just happy that we have rest. You know, after a long week, we can convene and share, inspire each other's based on the inspiration that we received from the Torah. There's this verse that rested on my heart this week. It comes from Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 13. It says, "For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, hewed them out. Cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water, right? So we have not been really turning to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and we have turned away from him. And when I recognize how far we have gone, as a nation, it's humbling that we must return, and it's a very urgent thing. It says no other. Jeremiah 2:11 says no other nation has ever changed its gods, even though they were not real. But my people have exchanged me, the God who has brought them honor, for gods that can do nothing for them. I must say that God has done a lot for me and my family, right? And it is there every day for us to see. As a people, we have been preserved for a great purpose, and we must honor the Most High in everything that we do. On this platform, off this platform, we are to give honor to Him, especially with the gifts that He has bestowed upon us and all the resources that He has bestowed upon us, because we are a set apart people, we are special people, and so we must ensure that each and every day that we have an impact, with those in our surroundings, and to bring them, draw them, be that light that will help draw them to the eternal, one that blesses and provides for us all. Just looking forward to another lovely day to learn more about Yah's words and be able to live it. That's it. So,
May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. And absolutely true. May the Most High be praised.
Toda for that. I don't. I had my elbow on a table and I slipped. You know how that's why y'all probably saw me jump forward. Toda for that. I don't. Great words, great powerful words. Is there anyone else that wants to get honor or want to get honor and praise to the Most High? Please do so now. And like and share and subscribe if you have yet to do so. Let me look at the likes. We're like 5 likes short, you all. We're 5 likes short with the amount of people that's watching. So if you have yet to do so, go ahead and like it for us. All right. My Isha has written out what she's thankful for. I'm going to go ahead and read it. It says, Toda eternal power for life and strength. I'm thankful and grateful for His provision and protection, seen and unseen. I am thankful for my Horim coming together to have me and teaching me purpose and character. I am who I am today because of their teachings. I am grateful for my Isha's guidance and his love for me. I appreciate his support and provision for our Mishpachah. I am so grateful we are able to see our South Carolina Mishpachah. We were able to surprise my sister with the secret visit. Her reaction was priceless and an forever impression on my heart. Mishpachah is so important. It's so bittersweet being in South Carolina after AIM transition. Passing by places we used to shop and live is still very hard for me, but I'm so grateful for the healing that our eternal power has allowed me and my Mishpachah to experience through our time together. I'm grateful for our Beulah family and supportive. Grateful for our Beulah family being supportive and just being genuine. Love you all dearly.
May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. May the Most High be praised.
All right. Well, I guess it's on me. First, I want to give all the honor and all the praise most deserved to the Creator of all things known and unknown. And I want to give praise to my Ab and Aim, the Most High, allowing them to have me to be present before you all and present before His people. I'm grateful for my Ab in law. I'm grateful for my Aim in law. May the Most High bless her memory. Because without them, I wouldn't have my Isha, who I'm grateful for. We're growing, we're building, doing a lot of great things that's coming about. 27th, you all, we have a listening party, so please, for our album, come through. Shameless plug. But I'm grateful for what the Most High is using us for collectively in our ministry and the growth that I am seeing within us both. To get a diamond, you got to do certain things to get a diamond, chip things off. That happens with both of us. The Most High is really showing us and providing insight and understanding in certain areas, so that we can be better for the people and what we're pressing to bring before the people. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for who the Most High used before all of us, the shoulders that I stand on, to bring forth the word that we are utilizing today to be better as a people. The remnant of the remnant that's doing so, which we're going to go over today, because everyone is not doing so, nor does everyone care to do so. I'm grateful that the Most High has nudged me to want to care and want to do so, and to be around people that want to care and do so as well. Grateful for the Beulah family that we have. I'm grateful for the lessons that we all are learning. And I pray that the Most High keeps the spirit amongst us, first and foremost, so that we don't end up like those that we read about and those that we see present today in 2024. Just grateful. It's so much. So I just want to end with that. For now. May the Most High, praise the Most High for all. Is that who?
May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah.
All right, we have Kaberet Yoel says, Shabbat Shalom, family. Toda, I'm grateful for the Most High. I'm grateful for his love, protection, wisdom, and his provisions. I'm very grateful for my Beulah family, as they've been a huge support for me and my family during my postpartum period. Thank each and every one of you for your service and sacrifice. Also, again, all praises to the Creator for my health as well as my daughter's health. We have a successful home birth without any complications. All praises are had. All praises.
May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. May the Most High be praised. What's that right there?
I'll just respond to Kaberet Yoel.
May the Most High be praised. All right. Zakara, you want to thank the Creator for anything special?
Absolutely. Shabbat shalom and can I be here?
Take the mic back.
Shabbat shalom, Lakulam. I am so grateful for so many things today. I woke up just with a really overwhelming sense of gratitude today for everything. Like, there's just been a lot going on, but it's been so beautiful. I'm very grateful for my Beulah family. I never have to ask for my children to be taken care of. Like, I never have to ask. Like, it gets to the point where I'm like, oh my gosh, like, should I take them? Like, should I? Like, I don't want to feel like I'm just putting my children on people, but it's literally like it is such a communal bond that anytime my children are always taken care of. They're always watched over. Anytime I have to do something, anytime I don't even have to do anything. Like, literally, they're just like, oh, come on, children. And everybody in the community is watching over every single child. And that is the atmosphere I've always envisioned, and the atmosphere I've always had a deep passion for, especially in schooling and what Abba has us doing. And it is just a beautiful thing to actually be able to bear witness to and to experience, because it's a very relieving, especially as a single mother. It's so relieving to know that you have this support and that you have this community that is going to make sure that your children are established in the Most High first and foremost, and that they're just going to be taken care of. And it's so beautiful. So I'm definitely thankful for my beautiful family. I'm thankful for everything that the Most High is establishing and setting up. Just in my life and all the things that he's doing, the lessons that he's showing me, the discipline that he is reiterating in my life, the preparation that he's reiterating in my life. And although sometimes, you know, we may think that these lessons are something of the negative, I don't ever take anything as a negative, because Abba uses these things to help us grow, and they are necessary for us to reach new and higher levels. And if we did not have those instances in which we are challenged to remain in him and keep our mind stayed on him, then we would never grow and we would never get closer to him. We would never have that intimacy with him. So I'm thankful for those challenges that have popped up, that have helped me challenge myself to remain in him and challenge myself to keep my mind stayed on him, because we know that this is a very spiritual battle. We're not wrestling against flesh and blood. And so because of that, we know that our mindsets are key. And I really feel like he's training up my mindset in a very special way right now and testing me in special ways. And I'm excited because I feel like I'm passing those tests. So I'm definitely thankful. I'm thankful for laughter, because I have just been laughing like crazy this entire week with all of my family from all different places. And musically, Abba is strengthening me in that music ministry to be able to sing his praise and putting me in different avenues that I didn't even know I was really strong in, but he's bringing forth a strength that I didn't even know was there. And with a whole lot of, you know, community and family backing me on that. And then us just laughing in these group chats and having a blast on this community land, and bringing also, you know, family in to be a part of that. Because I'm big on the mentality that we all eat. So I've never been a gatekeeper. I'm so glad that my family is able to, my Beulah family is able to like join me in that. And, you know, as we expand in our Psalms ministries unto the Father, I'm thankful that we have this tight knit bond in this community, and we can laugh and joke, but then we can be serious and get things done. And we each have a very specific piece of the puzzle that is required. And so with us all meshing together now, it's like, okay, the fullness is being more and more revealed. And as we get closer, as we allow each other to be not only vulnerable with each other, but just more intimate with each other in those terms, then we understand more of the Father's character. And I think that's the most beautiful part about it. So, Zehu.
All right. May the Most High be praised. May the Most High I don't know what she talking about being vulnerable. I ain't vulnerable to nothing. She vulnerable. I ain't vulnerable. I don't know what she talking about. She talking about being vulnerable. I don't know what she talking about. May the Most High be praised, though, sis. We understand. Is it my turn? Yeah, look at me. Y'all see my hair all over the place. That's how I feel inside my spirit right now. That's how I feel. I'm beat down, y'all. I'm beat down. This is day 13 of my fast. I haven't eaten a drop of food since 13 days ago. I'm toe up. I barely got any strength. My mind is not with me, but I'm thanking the Creator. I'm thanking the Creator for still being alive, being able to endure. Thanking the Creator for all of you. And I didn't want to get my hair done. She tried to do it. I said, no, leave my hair alone. Maybe because I'm not. What'd I say? Because my mind ain't here. I'll be saying stuff that don't even really be registering. So I don't know. I'll be seeing stuff. I'm serious.
I know. We see
Yeah.
you. We watching you. Making sure you're okay.
Yeah. I'll be seeing. I don't even want to drive. I ain't drove in the last 3 days because I'm scared to drive because I might hit something that ain't there. You know? So I'm afraid to drive. I have people driving me around. I don't want to go too far. I don't want to do too much because my mind is not seeing straight. My eyes are see. The other morning I got up out the bed and I sat on my sofa and I looked back toward the room and I looked on the floor toward the bottom of the, and I saw my slippers, well, my wife's slippers, and then I saw some shoes behind the slippers. So I sat there for a little while longer. Where them shoes come from? I don't remember them shoes. And then all of a sudden the shoes disappeared. So I know my mind ain't here. I already know it. So I'm not even going to stress it. This fast is kicking my butt. It's tearing me down. I haven't eaten nothing in the last 13 days. Tomorrow will be the 14th day. Tomorrow at sunset is the end of my fast. Thank you, Sister Sakari. But I'm toe up, and I lost like 20 pounds almost. It's really jacking me up.
You're almost there. You've been doing great though. Yeah. That's a big fast.
Yeah, it sure is.
It's working.
Yeah. So for the last week of my fast, my wife lost a bet and she had to join me in my fast. So she fasted for a week too. No, you lost a bet and you had to start the fast for the last week. What? What? Correct what? Come up here and tell them yourself. Come and tell them yourself.
They can hear me.
No, they can't. You'll whisper.
No, initially, I said I gave my word that I was going to end the fast with you the last
3 days. The last 3 days.
So then
the Creator made you do 4 additional days.
Right, which is not an issue.
All right.
But I want you to tell the whole thing, not like I lost a bet and now I'm fasting because I lost the bet. I initially was going to fast with you.
Hey, you can go sit down now. Thank you. She fasted, like I said before I was so rudely interrupted. She fasted with me for a week because she lost the bet. She lost a bet and it was a simple bet. I don't even remember what the bet was, but I know I won. And then my part of the bet was that if I won, you got to fast with me this last week. And she lost and she's fasting and she's hungry. And she's feeling it, but she's doing good. I'm proud of her. She's doing good. I'm proud of her. Yes. It's hard to fast, man. We need to fast more often. We really do. This 2-week fast should be nothing for me. I should be like zooming through it, but no.
And we've been praying for you.
This fast is tearing me down. I'm telling you. It's tearing me down. I'm hungry. I dream about food. I'm so hungry. I dream about food I don't even eat. I'm so hungry. But I thank the Creator for it, man. I thank Him for the endurance, for the strength, for the ability to be able to even get up. I wake up in the morning, my mouth real dry. I go get a drink of water, get up 5 minutes later and go to the bathroom. It's rough. Hey, I don't mean no disrespect, y'all, but I ain't had a bowel movement in 6 days. That's how empty my body is. Yes, that's how empty it is. I haven't had a bowel movement in 6 days. That's a lot. They tell you can't live like that, but if it ain't nothing in you, ain't nothing coming out. And I had to think of a cool way to put that so I could say it. So that was the coolest way I could think of. No, I ain't dreaming about no chicken.
When the last time you ate chicken?
I ain't dreaming about no chicken. That ain't come in my dreams.
How long has it been about?
I couldn't even tell you. I'm only 39 3/4, so how is it 45 years?
Oh, we forgot.
39 3/4. But I'm thankful to the Creator for life. And today, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to teach today because I'm so weak. But I'm gonna do my best to teach today. I thank the Creator for all of you again. For without you, the motivation wouldn't be there. The desire to do things, to get up, to force, to implement things wouldn't be there. So I'm grateful. It's no me without all of y'all. And again, may the Most High be praised, for He is our King. He is our Master. He is our Savior. He is our Protector. There's a lot of things that I been wanting to say for my little bit of time that I got to speak on. But because my mind is not as strengthened as usually, I forgot a lot of those things. I wanted to talk a little bit about the realities of life. How so many of us take for granted the realities of life, the direction our lives are in, Like, for example, sometimes we have problems in our lives, and when those problems arrive, the difficult time sets us back. You know, you're not able to do some of the things you wanted to do, but it's because you didn't pay attention when the warnings was coming. Therefore, when the authorities or whoever it is caught up to you, it sets you back a whole lot. And now you got to try to redo, do harder, do much more, or pay much more to get your life back in order again. Here's a key to that. Here's a key. Most problems and situations we have in our lives didn't just pop up. They usually happen because we didn't handle them correctly the first time they showed up. Like, for example, when they sent me my water bill, I didn't pay the water bill. I just kept ignoring it. Then they cut my water off. But they cut the water off on the day when I was having a party. We was having a party. It was a holy day. And we was having a party and we didn't have no water. And I'm mad now. I'm frustrated. There's nothing I can do, because if I would have handled it the day that the problem arose and handled it correctly, then I wouldn't have to worry about being interrupted during my time of pleasure of having a holy day. There are so many of us that in our lives, the problems that we blame on others, it be a result of our lack of diligence to complete what we have to do when that time is there. And so many of us don't handle our business. You know, we push it off, or we let somebody else do something and somebody else do something, and we make up excuses why we can't handle the most important things. And then when calamity comes, like for example, here's a real life example that I know about a lot of people. Here's another one. So when calamity comes, all hell break loose and you're stuck. So here's another reality that I know about a lot of people. They be broke. We broke. A lot of people, I ain't gonna say we, I'm gonna say they. I'm gonna leave that out there with them. I ain't gonna call it on myself. They be broke. Really broke. I mean, living from check to check, week to week, right? But then all of a sudden, they got this money to go take a vacation for 2 weeks in Italy, Japan, Spain. I'll be like, how? How when you broke? And they get on me because I won't go nowhere. Because I'm not about to waste my money anyway. So they get on me anyway. So then they come back from their trip and then they broke again. All year long, borrowing money from you, borrowing money from him, borrowing money from her, and don't have the means to sustain themselves, but they actually gave the airline money. They gave the hotel money. They gave the people with the food money. They gave the car rental place money. I don't know how they do this. I don't know how. And so many of us, we don't have nothing organized, structured. We don't own no land. We don't own no fields to grow our foods. We don't have no wells. We don't do anything toward our future, but we quick to give our riches to someone else. And it doesn't make sense to me. It's because we're not properly prepared for our future. A lot of the things that we are involving ourselves in has nothing to do with the blessings that the Creator has placed in your life right today. Nothing. And except you open up to the Most High and pay attention to what the Most High is saying to you, you won't receive the blessings of the Creator. When the Most High gives you, for example, a lot of those people take those trips. What they do is they'll put away a little bit of money. Every time they get paid, they'll put away $200, $300, $50, $100 in a special savings fund so they can save up to give it away so they can go on a trip. That's how you can build that house you was talking about. That's how you can buy that land. You can take that discipline of going on that trip and take those finances and put it away. And then eventually you'll have enough money to go buy your land cash free outright. Then you'll have enough money to build you a house cash free and outright. If you continue on that same process, that same diligence of foolishness, but yet use it to something positive, you'll have everything you need. Black folk, I think we pull it. We spending $4 billion a year. I think it is something like that. $4 billion a year, and black folk don't own nothing. I thank the Creator. He gave me the kind of mind to be able to see this type of stuff because I'm stingy. I don't like giving up no cash. I must really love you if I'm going to give you some of my cash. I must really love you. You must be special to me. If I'm going to share some cash with you, you must be special. I'm telling you. Because I hold every dime as sacred. I pick pennies up off the ground. I'm one of them guys that be walking around, see a penny on the ground. I pick it up and put it in my pocket and say, thank you, Creator. A penny, let alone a nickel and a dime and a quarter. And I found $100 in the supermarket the other day. I picked it up. This lady was in line. She was right in front where the $100 was at, right? She was at the end of the counter. I picked the $100 up, balled it up in my hand real quick. So I walked over to the lady. I said, Miss, I just found some money. If you could tell me what denomination of money it is, then I'll know it's yours. You can have it. She said, what, $1? I said, nope, it ain't yours.
Goodbye.
Put it in my pocket and I walked out the store. So she probably walked right over it. And the lady behind me talking about, I know what it is because I seen you pick it up. Yeah, but we know it ain't yours, don't we?
Okay.
I kept that money. I was thankful. I gave it to my wife, though. I came home and gave it to my wife. She left it on the table because she got mad because I said, you don't really need this. I need it.
I did not say.
She left it on the table. But I'm thankful, man. So even in that is how the Most High provides. Even in that is how he provides for his people. You know, in the smallest ways, in the largest ways, the Creator's good. And he brought us together in a community, you know what I mean? And in the community, we all help each other and we all good to each other. Sometimes when my wife can't cook, who cooks for you when you can't cook? Damn, I got to cook for myself. Damn, we got to stop this. Oh, yeah, Sister Karia cooks for me. Yeah, Sister Karia cooks for me sometimes. Yes, I do get some food sometimes. But I know that's going to change because I know my sisters, they look out for me. Yeah, Nasika, Uzziah, they all are cook for me. They all helps out. So I'm so grateful. Ain't really be cooking. I'm so thankful. It's nice to be in the community. It's really, really nice where people help and look out for you and take care of you when you can't take care of yourself. It's a beautiful thing. May the Most High be praised. All right, I don't want to take up too much more time, and I'm going to leave it at that. Whew. That took a lot out of me to talk that long, y'all. So I might be asleep over here while the lesson going on. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. Toda Rabbah.
All right. Anyone else? Anyone else? Hobbs says, sounds like misappropriation of funds given in to wants versus needs. And King Zakari says, the blessings must be managed thoughtfully, budget conscious.
Absolutely. Because people waste money. We waste money, and it's not good. We some of the richest people on the planet and some of the poorest. You want that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wanted to state one more grateful thing because I keep telling everybody this because it's the truth. I literally have the best sisters on the face of the planet, literally. So my sister Princess right here, she gave me a planner and a budgeting planner. And it was literally exactly what I needed. So because we were on the topic of like budgeting and planning and, you know, doing all of those things, I just wanted to also give thanks to my sister because she thought of me even like randomly. And she bought me this planner and this budgeting book, which is exactly what I needed. So toot out to her for listening to the spirit, for helping her little sister out, you know. So yeah, we're about to get on this budget.
Many more of us need to be on a budget. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. All right. Introducing to the floor. Are you ready, Nasik? Nasik is going to be doing today's lesson. Today's class will be taught by Nasik. Shabbat Shalom, Aim. Shabbat shalom. All right. So, do you need a reader, or are you gonna? How are we gonna do this, Nasik?
I'll go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
And today, the name of today's lessons is "What are you doing this for?" Very interesting. Let's watch this phenomenal lesson by Nasik.
Toda Rabah. Toda Rabah. תודה רבה. ראשית, אני רוצה לתת כבוד ליהוה ואברהם, או לאברהם, יצחק ויעקב. Eloi Abraham, Yitzchak Yaakov. First one, God, praise the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So today is, what are you doing this for? For those that don't know me, I am Nasik Rashi Shema. In Hebrew, in English, she Prince Shema of Beit Mazan. And Toda Prince for having me teach again today. So what are you doing this for? I think is important. A lot of us, if you read the literature, a lot of us didn't know what we were doing it for. We will be told things and then we would forget it. I want to revert back to the past, right? So there's some examples I wanted to bring out before we get started. We're going to be in the book of Isaiah, or Yeshayahu. A lot of these chapters that we're going to go over, some of you have already read. Hopefully I could bring something out that may spike or provoke thought. So I was on the platform I think it was this past week. I think Morris Zakaria was speaking on the music. So me and my Isha was on the panel speaking on a performance we did. And they was asking everybody all these questions about, the Sukkot and things of that nature. And they didn't ask us the question. So I wanted to bring out what I wanted to say if I was asked the question. And the question was leaning towards like, what was Sukkot about to them in a sense. And the thing I wanted to bring out, the purpose of Sukkot, you can't bring Sukkot out without attaching to other Moedim, appointed times. And that is Feast of Unleavened Bread and Shavuot. So you have Feast of Unleavened Bread, Shavuot, and you have Sukkot. Those 3 times is when we're supposed to meet. For those that's not familiar with that, we're supposed to meet. But what are we meeting for, right? The lesson is, what are you doing this for? A lot of people are coming together, have a good time, but it's more than that. All 3 of these instances has something to do with the wilderness, which Azante Tyreek brought out, which I like that he did. In addition to what he brought out, I wanted to say it has to do with humility and community. That's it. It is supposed to humble us and then also teach us how to work together. How can I prove that? Every commandment and law is dealing with us how to deal with one another. Only a few of them is dealing with us, the most important, to serve the Most High first. But how can you serve the Most High first if you're not properly serving each other? And how can you serve each other if you don't know how to commune with one another? So in order to commune with one another, you have to be humble, no matter your position. You have to be humble. That pride, which is nothing wrong with pride, but it's something wrong with arrogance. When the scripture is talking about pride, it's talking about arrogance. It's not talking about the sense of pride in your people or pride in your Elohim. So we have to get that. Another example I wanted to bring up before we go to Isaiah chapter 1, one of my favorite chapters in the whole Bible, or the whole Tanakh, right? So I'm a personal trainer. I haven't personal trained anyone in a while, but I'm a certified personal trainer. And one of the things that I always brought to people, because people will gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight. And they're wondering, why am I gaining weight and losing weight? Or some people know why they're gaining weight, right? But the main reason that you are continuing to gain because of your why. Prince just brought out about budgeting and how, people take little. It's funny because me and my Isha was literally having this discussion about that too. But he was talking about people who put $5 aside, $10 aside to go to a trip. And then when they go to that trip, they spend their money all on that. But then when they come back, they're back in that same position. That's the same concept with the weight gaining. Most people that want to lose weight, they want to lose weight for a trip. And then they gain it back when they come back from that trip. Why do they gain it back? Because their why is not something for long term. So what is the purpose of us coming together as Israel? What is the Most High doing with us? What is our purpose? What is the long-term why? It's not so we can say, oh, we're children of Israel, or we're the chosen people. That don't mean nothing. It means something, but it doesn't mean nothing. And we're going to read how the Most High is going to show us this. He wants us to get back to that why, understand that why. Because when we get that why, then we're going to find out that we'll be successful. We'll be successful. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 1. We're going to go to Isaiah chapter 1. So I'm not going to go fully contextually. You all know that I always do. Well, I try to deal with context a lot because that's one of the issues in our community and any community that studies the Bible is context. Context is lost completely often. So, but I want to utilize Isaiah to kind of paint a picture for us today. For those that's watching that may not be familiar, the purpose of the prophets were to bring forth understanding of us not keeping the law, expounding on the law a little bit, right? But of us not keeping the law. And the most important thing that we weren't keeping is putting things and people before the Most High. That's the sum of everything with the prophets, right? But we're going to go to Isaiah chapter 1, verse 1. And it says this: the vision of Yeshayahu, son of Amos, which we saw concerning Yehuda and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and his Yahu, which is Hezekiah, right? Sovereigns of Yehuda. So contextually, a majority of Isaiah is dealing with that time with the kings. We do have instances where it's going to be talking about things that ain't even taking place with us today. But majority of the doctrines that we know of today that we utilize, not we, but a lot of people utilize to point in certain directions, that contextually is off. That's dealing with the times of the kings. And I could prove all that another time, but let's keep reading. It says, hear, O heavens, and listen, O earth, for the Most High has spoken. I have reared and brought up children, but they have transgressed against me, right? I have reared and brought up children. What are we called? The children of Israel, but they have transgressed against me. So they have broken something. They have broken something that was put in place. They have broken things that is going to be better for them. How many of you have children and you have taught your children certain things because you knew what could happen if they went that direction? Hence what we're kind of talking about today with the budgeting and stuff like that. You see what can happen, but they still go against that and causes to put them in this state that we're about to read right now. An ox knows his owner, and a donkey its master's crib. Israel does not know. My people are not understood. It's a different translation, so you can read whatever translation you want, but it's all bringing it back to the same thing. But it's saying that that some of you may have dogs, right? Some of you may have cats, dogs, all that. You know how your dog knows you, knows your voice, knows your scent, right? Me and Yirmiyahu, Adon Yirmiyahu was talking about that, about the scent. I think Dante Tariq as well. Like they know the scent. They know their master. But we don't know our master in the way our master desires us to know him, right? But he's showing you how animals operate with their master, but he's telling us we don't even know. We don't even understand. It says, verse 4, Allah, a sinning nation, added, loaded with crookedness, a seed of evil doers, sons acting corruptly. Watch this. So it says a seed of evil doers. Let's see another translation. Right? Let's see. A people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. So you have, it's painting a picture of generations after, right? But it's saying that we are evildoers. Of course, this is not that time. But if you go through that tonight, Every time, we're doing the same thing. Prince teaches that we're the same people from back then, right? So if we're the same people from back then, even if we weren't, but if we are, we're still doing it today. Everything that you all witness today, the things that you don't like about Yisrael, was done back then. And sometimes we might not like things about other people within Yisrael. We're doing the same thing. We don't see it, but we are pointing the finger at everyone else. What are we doing it for? Keep that in mind. What are we doing this for? It says they have forsaken the Most High. They have provoked the set apart one of Yisrael. They went backward. Why is it saying they went backward? Because something was presented in front of them and they went away from it. Example, when they was in Mizraim, something was presented in front of them to go, but they wanted to go backward. We always want to go back to something, even if something is righteously put in front of us. Something is righteously planned out, beneficial for the whole, right? Collective. I'm talking about something righteously put in front. We still want to go back. I'm not saying if something's put in front of you and it's not beneficial for everybody collectively. I'm saying righteously put. You the one called me out. Most High came to Moshe, he said he heard the people. So they was calling. So you was calling for this and you still wanted to go back. We're the same people. We're doing the same thing. What are you doing this for? Remember, that's the topic. What are you doing this for? What is the reason that you're keeping or thinking that you're keeping these laws? What is the reason that you're claiming that you're Yisrael? What are you doing it for? Are you doing it for what they say today, clout? What are the teachers doing it for? Are we doing it for clout? Because the prophets came to the leaders mostly, and to the people, but to the leaders. Because why? Leaders have to be a certain type of way for us to thrive. A lot of times, the things that happen is because the leaders allow. Aharon allowed something while Moshe went up. Yeah, he may have got killed. I don't know. If he would have stood his ground, they may have tried to kill him. But if he would have stood his ground, Moshe could have did to him what he did with Daniel and them. He would have still protected, I believe. We can't read that in script, but I'm just using that as an example. All right, let's keep going. Verse 5, it says, why should you be stricken anymore? You continue in apostasy. All the head is sick and all the heart faint. It says all the head is sick. Now, granted, this is Yeshayahu, a prophet, coming and saying all the head is sick. A prophet could be considered being a head too, right? But it's letting you know those heads that are prominent in Yisrael, because maybe Yeshayahu wasn't prominent in Yisrael, not even maybe. A lot of the prophets wasn't prominent in Yisrael, but there was some that were, as we can know, like Shemuel in that time. But in these times, we had a lot of leaders and politics in place where these prophets weren't on the same level as like a Shemuel. But it says, all the head is sick and all the heart faint. From the sole of the foot to the head, there is no soundness in it. There is no soundness in it. What does that mean? I'll tell you what it means to me. When we think of like doctrine, it's a difference between having doctrine, because a lot of us have it, but then it's a difference between having sound doctrine, balanced doctrine, understanding this portion, and how it truly connects. So it says there's no soundness from the foot to the head, all of Israel. Now, this is my words when I say this. I wouldn't say this is dealing with the prophets. I wouldn't say this is dealing with the righteous remnant of a remnant when this is being said. But when you come and you bring something before the people, you are painting something to all the people present. That means the head and the foot. So that's what it's letting you. No soundness in it. Wounds and bruises and open sores. They have not been closed or bound up or soothed with anointment. Right? Soothed with anointment. Look, this right here is amazing to me. It says they have not been closed and bound up. Some of you are used to caring for people, right? Ab always speaks all the time about what Princess did with AIM. May the Most High bless AIM's memory. She had care. And the people that helped her, she had care, right? She soothed the body properly. All these different things. But why am I using that? Soothed with ointment, but it's pointing back to the head and those that's associated with it. They have not been closed and bound up properly or soothed. So it's letting you know it's a certain approach that us as leadership have to do as well. We got to be balanced. Your land is laid waste. Your cities are burned with fire. Strangers devour your land in your presence, and it is laid waste as overthrown by strangers. Why is it letting you know this? Because we are not supposed to be overthrown. Those that believe that we Israel truly, we're not supposed to be in this state, but we are supposed to be in this state. And it's going to show you why for those that don't know. And for those that do know, hopefully it's something said that might, give you a different perspective too. Verse 8, and the daughter of Sion is left as a booth in the vineyard, as a hut in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city, right? Unless the Most High of Hosts had left to us a small remnant, we would have become like Sodom. We would have been made like Amorah, or Gomorrah, the English say. This is why I always speak of a remnant. Yisrael is supposed to be a remnant to the rest of the nations anyway. But within that, the initial remnant are those that's truly serious about the Most High. He said if he wouldn't have left us a remnant, we wouldn't be here. We'd be no more, period. And that's true. You read throughout all our literature, it's because of someone that voice of reason that's hated by most. Verse 11, of what use to me are your many slaughterings, declares the Most High. I have had enough of ascending offerings of rams and the fat of fed beasts. I do not delight in the blood of bulls, or of lambs or goats. When you come to appear before me, who has required this from your hand, to trample my courtyards? Right? So notice he's saying my courtyards. Keep that in mind. Stop bringing feudal offerings, incense. It is an abomination to me. New moons, Sabbaths, the calling of gatherings. I am unable to bear unrighteousness and assembly. Okay, let me read the next verse. My being hates your new moons and your appointed times. They are a trouble to me. I am weary of bearing them. I want to stop there because it may be somebody that's watching this that might try to utilize that and say, oh, we shouldn't be doing any of this. It's something that he said. He said, my courtyards, right? So in these courtyards, something's supposed to take place. But he said at the same time, he don't care about none of that stuff. It doesn't do anything for me. Then he says, stop bringing feudal offerings, incense. It is an abomination to me. But why is it an abomination? New moon, Sabbaths, the calling of gatherings. I am unable to, here's the context. I am unable to bear unrighteousness and assembly. Most High sounds bipolar. Or does he? For those that know the Bible or know it to a certain extent, this would sound bipolar. Wait a minute. I can't bear assembly. Wait, you're supposed to be assembly as a people, right? Let's do something. Let's go to, I'm going to go to 4 places. You all can stay here. I'm just going to go read one verse in 4 different places, all right? Exodus 6 and 7. Hold on. Where is it at? Okay, I may have skipped over it, but we may come back to it. But it was a portion when, let me read in the KJV. One of the verses says, this people, right? So I'm not going to take us there, but we're going to go to Exodus 6 and 7 anyway, and I'll bring it out. Okay, so he said, my courtyards, but I do not have any, I don't like any of your assembly. I don't like any of your new moons, any of that stuff, right? Exodus 6, verse 7. It says, and shall take you as my people, and I shall be your Elohim. And you should know that I am the Most High, your Elohim, who is bringing you out from under the burdens to the Mizrites. So the reason I went here, and I don't know why I don't see the verse that I brought this for, he said something about this people. He went from, at this portion of Isaiah 1, he's calling them this people here. But we see in Exodus 6 and 7, he's saying my people. Okay, that's the purpose I'm doing with this. Let's go to Exodus 32. Actually, correction on my own. Exodus 32 is going to be where this people was at. So Exodus 6 and 7, he's saying, you are my people, right? Exodus 32, let's read Exodus 32. And we're going to go to verse 9. And it says, and the Most High said to Moshe, I have seen this people, and see, it is a stiff-necked people. And now let me alone, that my wrath might burn against them, and I consume them, and I make you a great nation. I was going to stop at 9, but I want to paint a picture right here. But Moshe pleaded with the Most High, his Elohim, and said, Most High, why does your wrath burn against your people? Right? He's reiterating that it's your people. Why? Because in Exodus 6 and 7, he said that was my people. Now he jumped and he said, it is this people. Why am I using this as an example? In Isaiah 1, he says, your new moons, your feasts. I don't like none of that. But why am I showing this? The Most High removes himself from unrighteousness. Keep that in mind. He removes himself from unrighteousness. Okay? Let's keep going. He says, your people, whom you have brought out of the land of Mizraim with great power and with a strong hand. Why would the Mizrahites speak and say, for evil we brought them out to kill them in the mountains and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from the heat of your wrath and relent from this evil to your people. Okay? Let's go to Leviticus 23 real quick. So what I did with Exodus 6 and 7 and Exodus 32 is I showed that the Most High called us his people, but then through our stubbornness, through our stiff-neckedness, right? Because it said that in Isaiah chapter 1, he then said this people. But Moshe, being called the meekest in the land or the earth at that time, right? Brought to his memory your people. Okay, let's go to Leviticus 23 and 1. Only going to read one verse there. So Isaiah 1 says, your new moons, what makes it our new months, right? Our feast days. What makes it that? Because it's not our feast days. What does Leviticus 23 and 1 say? It says, and the Most High spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to the children of Yisrael and say to them, the appointed times, right? The Moedim, or some translations may say the feast days, of the Most High, which you are proclaimed as set apart gatherings. My appointed times are these, right? My appointed times, and you keep going down, I'm not going to read all of it. It started to talk about the new moon and things like that. The appointed times are formed and understood through the signs of the season and stuff like that, basically. But you have that moon in there. So new moon, I say new month, a new moon, right? So it's your new moon, your feast days. The reason that it became that is because he said that you are doing unrighteousness. You are doing things within my courts, right? You're doing all of these wickedness. So that's not mine. What I produced and gave you all is righteousness. I produced this assembly that I wanted you all to do. This is what I gave you. And you shifted it. You changed it. So it's yours. That's not mine. And when you go back to Isaiah, that's what he says. Let's go back to Isaiah 1:14. We have to get back to what is the purpose? What are you doing this for? Because Israel back then lost what they were doing it for. And this is what the Most High is trying to show them in Isaiah. They lost it, right? Isaiah 1:14. Hold on, I'm in the wrong chapter. Isaiah 1, verse 14. And it says, Let's go to 13. Stop bringing fruitful offerings, incense. It is an abomination to me. New moons, Sabbaths, the calling of gatherings. I am unable to bear unrighteousness and assembly. Okay? So the Most High let us know in Leviticus that he wanted us to gather. He wanted us to assemble. He wanted us to do these, understand the Moedim through the times, the new moons, the months, and things like that. But he's saying the reason that is yours is because you have produced unrighteousness within these assemblies and within my courts. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. 15. And when you spread out your hands, I hide my eyes from you. Even though you make many prayers, I do not hear. Your hands have become filled with blood. Right? So in this instance, it's a physical blood, but it's a spiritual side to that. If you're causing things to happen to your brothers and things like that, that's harming them, that's hurting them, right? Because blood is within us. If you're doing that, I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you at all. But a lot of us don't think that a lot of us think that the Most High just hears us. A lot of us within Israel, anybody who even studies the Bible, we believe it. We cannot fathom that the Most High does not hear us, because guess what? We're keeping the law. We're keeping the law, so the Most High gotta hear us. Is that true? Is that sound doctrine, or is that just doctrine? He told us just to keep the law, so we good. As long as we do what he said, then that's fine. That's not what he's saying. That's not what the prophets are teaching. And in Torah, that's not even what the Torah is saying completely, because the Torah tells you to circumcise your mind. So you got to go deeper in understanding what the Torah is bringing out so that you can fulfill it completely. You got to change your thinking. You got to understand, yeah, you serving me, you doing this, but what are you doing to your brother, to your sister? Your physical one. What are you doing to those that's in the community with you? These are the things that you're not looking at. Let's go to, we're going to stay in Isaiah, but I'm going to go to 3 other places. You all don't have to go. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 28. Let's touch on these prayers really quickly. Proverbs chapter 28. I'm going to read verse 9. He who turns away his ear from hearing the Torah, even his prayer is an abomination. That is deep when you think about it. Let's read it again. Watch this. He who turns away his ear from hearing the Torah. When it's saying hearing the Torah, hearing is listening with the intent to do. He who turns away his ear from hearing the Torah, even his prayer is an abomination. The Torah talks about a vast amount of things. And one of the major things it talks about is how to treat one another. Yeah, a lot of us, we keeping the law, we keeping Shabbat, we wearing our tzitzit, you know, we're coming to doing the Moedim, Sukkot just happened for some people. We're doing all of these different things, but what about the backbiting? What about being a manipulative to your brothers? What about lying to your brother or sister, if you call them that? What about all that? Is your prayer really being heard? Because you literally are not hearing the Torah. We're not. What are we doing it for? I'll read a few more verses in there. It says, he who causes the straight to go astray in an evil way. To see that word evil way, we're going to be like, well, I can't be evil. I'm not doing anything evil right here. I didn't cause the straight, the righteous, to go astray in an evil way. Are you sure? Let's keep going. Falls into his own pit, but the perfect inherit the good. A rich man is wise in his own eyes, but the poor who has understanding searches him out. When the righteous exult, there is great comeliness, but But when the wrong arises, a man is searched for. 13, we're going to read 2 more verses in here. He who hides his transgressions does not prosper, but he who confesses and forsakes them finds compassion. I think that's important because a lot of us do hide our transgression. We don't tell nobody, and it does catch up to us. Some people that we don't need to tell nobody but the Most High. It's telling us he who hides it, his transgressions does not prosper. But I'm not going to push any doctrine on that because, this can be speaking of you trying to hide it from the Most High, but it's impossible to hide it from the Most High. So this has to be talking about with other people. You can't hide anything from the Most High. All right, let's keep reading. It says 14, blessed is the man who always fears Elohim, but he who hardens his heart falls into evil. He who hardens his mind falls into evil. These are things that we need to continue to work on to be heard, that prayer being heard. It's a school of thought that say when it says the Most High don't hear the prayers of those people that sin, that it's saying that the Most High don't hear them quick enough. Like he's going to still eventually hear you. I stand on what the scriptures say. I don't go by that school of thought, but I did want to bring that school of thought out. Or maybe some of you may have that school of thought. Let's go to Psalm 66. We're going to go back to Isaiah, you all, but I wanted to target that hearing of the prayer because a lot of us, we will point that on everyone else, but that is definitely talking about us too. It doesn't have to be though, by the way. It does not have to be, but it is. And forgive me, I'm talking kind of low. I'm not so enthusiastic. I'm in the library right now, y'all. My Ishas did let you all know we're visiting South Carolina right now. All right, verse 18, 66, it says, if I have seen wickedness in my heart, Most High will not hear. If I have seen wickedness in my heart, the Most High would not hear. All of this is coming together. All of this is attached. This is letting us know that if it's wickedness in our heart, if it's sin being played out, us running from the Torah. We think we're keeping the Torah, but if you're doing things towards who you call your brother, your sister, people within the community, outside, then you're running from it. And your prayers may not be heard according to what the scriptures say. Proverbs 15:8. Proverbs 15:8, you all. The slaughtering of the wrong ones is an abomination to the Most High, but the prayer of the straight is his delight. In order to be straight, you have to be balanced. In order to be straight, you have to be balanced. If you're not balanced, that's when you're wavering, right? So in order to be balanced, we have to not just think about, hey, I'm keeping the law by wearing my tzitzit, going to the Moedim, doing this, that, but I'm not dealing properly with people. All right, let's get back to Isaiah chapter 1. Any questions? Any thoughts? I see it's a few things being read or written. Let me go to it before I keep going. I want to go. Princess Badai says, it makes me think of how the Jewish have set their dates to go according to their work schedule and to accommodate themselves so they don't have to have double Shabtot. When I read the Jewish book of why Old Testament was so disturbing to my soul, and I was like, what's the process of following the moon, which led me to do it according the moon verses of a set time by those whom are not us, but want to be us. Mordecai says, Khan, hiding transgressions from those who love and support us also prevents their allowance to hold us accountable and help keep us on track. I will say this about that. Oh, let me respond on that. I suggest that you shouldn't hide, but you also shouldn't take it to just anyone. It should be brought to someone that you deem righteous and have showed consistency within their character and their approach with people, because what you are wanting to hide can be spread elsewhere. So we got to be wise with it too. I don't believe that when this is being said, it's saying to spread it to any and everybody, just tell someone. I don't think that's what you're saying. But for those that may be listening, be careful who you say it to, but don't hide it too, because you got to speak with somebody that can help. She says, this is why we are to confess our transgressions to one another so we may be healed. Others who righteously pray for us can help us fight any battles we may be facing and hold us accountable. Okay, so just keep that in mind, though, because that's what a lot of people are going through in Israel today. They may tell someone and they may want to change, but their business gets spread, or the person they tell may start looking at them the wrong way when they're supposed to be helping them. So everything has to be in wisdom. So we must do that. Let's focus on that too. Let's keep going because we do have quite a bit. Hopefully I can get through it. I really want to get through it so I can get the gist of this whole thing. And of course, the expectation was that all who walk the way should be in alignment with righteousness and trustworthy of holding those transgressions in righteous manner. The expectation. I understand it. I understand it. I just want to add to, in addition to that, but in addition to that, when we look at our history, that just is not the case with us. It was certain people that the people went to. They didn't go to all the leaders. It was certain people they went to. And I think we should follow that model so that we can all build properly, be protected properly as well. But good insight. That is true. It should be the expectation, but that's just not the case, unfortunately. Let me see what verse moves on. 14 of chapter 1. Let me keep going. Verse 16. Here we go. Wash yourselves, make yourselves clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before my eyes. Stop doing evil. Wash yourselves. You can clean yourselves. You can turn and change. You can do a 180. It's not hard, but we don't want that accountability. We want to push and bring somebody else in it. I'm not talking about doctrine or even the Bible. I'm saying in general. We want to blame others. We want to bring some. We can change anything else we want to do. We want to lose weight. We want to make more money. We want to get a different car. We want to do all this stuff. But for some reason, we can't change ourselves. I always say it's 2024. We can do it. We don't want to do it. That why is not there. That example I gave in the beginning of the lesson, that why. What is your why? Are you really sincere and wanting to fulfill what the ending result is going to be? A lot of us don't even know what the ending result is. And hopefully we make it. Let's keep going. Wash yourselves, make yourself clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before my eyes. Stop doing evil. Learn to do good, right? Seek right ruling. Seek right ruling. Reprove the oppressor. Defend the fatherless. Plead for the widow, which is all things in the Torah. Even for the leaders, Deuteronomy or Devarim chapter 1, it tells you how to be balanced and right rule. Do right ruling, regardless of whoever you're doing it before. You do it. Don't be afraid of those above you or below you. As long as you are righteous, do it, especially if you are someone in the gates. That's what Deuteronomy 1 is talking about. Isaiah 1 right here is saying, learn to do good and seek right ruling. All of this is connected, like that TV show Manifest. All of this is connected. So seek right ruling, reprove the oppressor, defend the fatherless, plead for the widow, right? This is all Torah. And if you're not doing this, if we're not doing this, then that's when those prayers that it's talking about up there is not being heard. And we may think it's being heard because we're accomplishing things. That does not mean it's always being heard. Verse 18, come now and let us reason together, says the Most High. Though your sins are like scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they are red like crimson, they shall be as wool. If you submit and obey, you shall eat the food, the good of the land. If you submit to who? Submit to the laws of the Most High, the Torah. And obey, you shall eat the good of the land. But if you refuse and rebel, you should be devoured by the sword, for the mouth of the Most High has spoken. How the steadfast city has become a whore. I have filled it with right ruling, righteousness lodged in it, but now murderers. So he's letting us know through his word, he literally lodged in righteousness. He put it in place for us to do. But for some reason, we went elsewhere. It's important. We got to read this over and over, you all, because we're doing it today. We have the scriptures right in front of us, and we do it today. He said he lodged in righteousness. Righteousness was lodged in it, but now murderers. So how did murderers come out of something that was supposed to be righteous? That's what's being said. Your silver has become dross. Your wine is mixed with water, right? So your money is like trash. It's nothing. It's not going to do anything for you. That's what this word dross means. I don't know what it means, what it says in KJV. Let's see. Oh, it says dross too. So your money is worthless. It's trash. Your wine is mixed with water. So that wine is not what it typically is, because now you done put water within it. It doesn't taste the same, right? Your rulers are stubborn and companions are of thieves. Your rulers, those over you, are stubborn and companions of thieves. Everyone loves bribes and runs after rewards. They do not defend the fatherless, nor does the cause of the widow reach them. Right? The cause of the widow, it doesn't reach them, meaning they're not even worried about them. It's not coming within their sight. They're not focused on that. Therefore, the master declares, the Most High of hosts, the mighty one of Israel, I shall be eased of my adversaries, and I shall be avenged of my enemies, and I shall turn my hand against you, and shall refine your dross as with lye, and I shall remove all your alloy, and I shall give back your judges as at the first, and your counselors as at the beginning. After this, you shall be called the city of righteousness, a steadfast city. So something is being replaced and shifted. We have to bring something in, shifting, because something ain't going right. This people, a lot of us are new in this walk. I've been in this walk for going on 13 years now. Some been in it 30, 40. Mentor of mine, which I didn't even give honor to, mentor teacher of mine, she Prince Zebulun, beloved Hideki, and elder of mine, More Slim. And also, I just want to stop and give honor to Prince. I know I'm in the beginning of the lesson, but I was going fast, so forgive me. So what was I just saying? Lost my train of thought. Oh, judges. So something has to shift. He's bringing back judges just like it was supposed to be in the first, right? Some of us are new in this walk, and there's people that have been in it forever, and it's the same thing that's happening now that's been happening then. So it has to be a shift. This is not to remove those before us, but something new has to be brought out to shift what has been happening. The same thing that has happened all through the Tanakh. The leaders that was present was doing certain things. Not all of them was unrighteous, and definitely not all of them was righteous. And the prophets came and had to bring something new for them to understand, the people to understand. This is a fact. And we're going through that now. 27, Sion or Zion shall be ransomed with right rule, and her returning ones with righteousness. Right? Those ones that's coming with right. Let's read what the KJV say. They say her converts, but I say those that are returning. Right? And the destruction of transgressors and the destruction of transgressors and of sinners is together. And those who forsake the Most High shall be consumed. Y'all better stop saying y'all sinners. We better stop saying we are sinners. We are taking sound bite doctrine from Christianity. Yes, Israel. Anyone that says we're a sinner, you are taking sound bite scriptures from Christianity, and you're going to be right here in verse 28, consumed. I did not say you won't sin, but you should not call yourself a sinner. If you do, this is you. It don't have to be you, though. For they shall be ashamed of the terebinth trees which you have desired, and you shall be embarrassed because of the gardens which you have chosen. For you shall be as a terebinth whose leaf fades, and as a garden that has no water. The strong shall be for Tal, and his work for a spark, and both shall burn together with no one to extinguish. And this is in reference back to verse 28 when it says, and the destruction of transgressors and of sinners is together. And no one, in verse 31, will be able to save you. All right. Let's any questions? I don't know if I'm gonna make it through it, y'all, but we're gonna go. Let's go to chapter 2. Can't be both, right? You cannot be, and I'm trying to push that so much. We are not. We read that. He doesn't even hear the prayers of sinners, according to the literature, and that's all I'm going to go off of. Chapter 2, verse 1 says, the word that Yeshayahu, the son of Amos, saw concerning Yehuda and Jerusalem. Right? I'm going here for a reason, you all, so bear with me. Hopefully you all are getting something from this so far. The title is, what are you doing this for? What is your purpose? I brought out in the beginning, understanding your why. We have to shift and change our why. We got to understand why we're doing this. What is the purpose for us as a people under the Most High? What is our purpose? We have to strengthen our why, so we will not be spoken to in the way that they was back then in Isaiah days when it says your new moons, or we won't be called this people, right? We want to be always referenced as my people, always referenced and accepted in his moedim, his appointed time. We want that. Verse 2 says, and this shall be in the latter days, that the mountain of the house of the Most High is established on the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow to it. And many people shall come and say, come, and let us go up to the mountain of the Most High, of the house of the Elohim of Yaakov, or Jacob, and let him teach us his ways, and let him teach us his ways, and let us walk in his paths. For out of Sion comes forth the Torah, right? The instruction and the word of the Most High from Jerusalem. And he shall judge between the nations and shall reprove many peoples. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither teach battle anymore. So we know that this is after our time. This is not happening now, or this didn't happen yet. O house of Yaakov, come and let us walk in the light of the Most High. So this is a continuation of chapter 1. He's trying to reason with us because we want to understand and be a part of this point right here. Right? For you have forsaken your people, the house of Yaakov, because they have been filled from the east and practice magic like the Philistines, and they are pleased with the children of foreigners. Now, this can be looked at two different ways, right? Getting married with the children of foreigners, or if you're pleased with the children of foreigners, think of here in America, right? They're supposed to be foreigners to us as Israel, but a lot of us are pleased with the things that their children have produced due to what was given and established for them. So we're liking everything here. We're pleased with everything here. That is not supposed to be the case. Jeremiah talks about that. Well, like all the prophets do. We can be amongst it, but to be pleased here over the Most High, that's problematic. And that is why we continue to fail. Their ways is not our ways. Their ways is what's causing us to fail mentally, spiritually, and physically. Their ways have produced a whole bunch of fast food restaurants all across America that a lot of us go to and choose that as our breakfast, dinner, and lunch. And it is messing with us physically. So their ways is not our ways. It's so much, man. And their land is filled with silver and gold, and there is no end to their treasures. And their land is filled with horses, and there is no end to their chariots. Right? It's no end. You remember in what chapter is that? Is it Deuteronomy 17? When it talks about the king should not have multiplied horses. What chapter is that, somebody? Right? The reason that when he was talking about the king that you were going to get, and he was establishing what the king should not do, because the king was not supposed to be greedy, basically, right? Multiply wives, multiply horses, right? Multiply the things that he's going to force the people to do, because if he does that, there will be no end. And then when there's no end, it causes the people to suffer. Back right here, it says that, and their land is filled with silver and gold, and there is no end to their treasures. There is no end, and their land is filled with horses, and there is no end to their chariots. It's all connected. And their land is filled with idols. Guess what? There's no end to that either. And we're joining that too, right? We are pleased with the children of foreigners. That goes with their idols too. That's foreign to us. And their land is filled, verse 8 again, with idols. They bow themselves to the work of their own hands, to what their own fingers have made. Our scripture tells us, let another man praise you. And this right here is telling you that they bow themselves to the work of their own hands, to what their own fingers have made. And the lowly bows down, and the high is humbled. Therefore, you do not forgive them. Enter into the rock and hide in the dust because of the fear of the Most High and the splendor of his excellency. The lofty looks of men shall be humbled. The pride of men shall bow down, right? So what are you doing this for? Are you doing this for clout? Are we doing this for clout? Cain, it was Deuteronomy 17. Cain told are we doing this for just clout? Because if we aren't doing this for clout, we would care for our people more. That doesn't mean don't be stern with your people. That doesn't mean don't reprimand your people. But you have to love your people. That's what the Torah say. As yourself. That's what the Torah say. That's pretty hard, but we could train ourselves to do it. And when we don't do that, that's when that pride, that arrogance comes in. And it's letting us know this right here. The lofty looks of man shall be humbled. We're going to be humble. The pride of man shall be bowed down, and the Most High alone shall be exalted in that day. The Most High alone shall be exalted in that day. The Most High alone shall be exalted in that day. For the Most High of hosts has a day against all that is proud and lofty, arrogant and lofty. For the Most High of hosts has a day against all, not just those who are not Israel, that is proud and lofty, against all that is lifted up, so that it is brought low, and against all the cedars of Lebanon and that are high and lifted up, and against all the oaks of Bashan, and against all the high mountains, and against all the it's repeating everything that's exalted in a proud way. Because when you're exalted in a proud way, you cannot, or arrogant way, you cannot give true praise to the Most High. Our words mean nothing. Our actions our character, our spirit, how the Most High sees it, because we don't see everybody's spirit. We can believe we do. We don't know the true thoughts of another person only based upon maybe the consistency of how they operate. But even that is subjective. Even that is subject to a specific subject. So we have to understand, even within ourselves, to always remain low. Because apparently, in the day of the Most High, right? Isaiah 2 is letting us know that everything, he's against everything that is there, high, exalting themselves, arrogant. Let's go to 17. And the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the pride of men, this is continuing to talking about pride, shall be brought low, and the Most High alone shall be exalted in that day, and the idols completely passed away. And they shall go into the holes of the rocks and into the caves of the earth, from dread of the Most High and the splendor of his excellency, when he arises to shake the earth mightily. In that day, man shall throw away his idols. All praises to the Most High on that. Of silver and his idols of gold, and which they made, each for himself to worship, to the moles of bats. And this just shares something. This tells us something. We just gotta make something, because we're not truly connected to the Most High like we think. You want something to touch, something to see, so that you can feel that the Most High is there. And if that's the case, it's impossible for us to truly know the Most High. And I believe that's what the Most High is trying to show us here within our scripture. Cease from man, whose breath is in his nostrils, for in what he is to be reckoned upon. All right. I wanted to go to chapter 3, but we're going to probably just go to chapter 10. We can read a few things in chapter 3. Is there any questions before we go further? Make sure you all are hitting that like button. Make sure you're sharing. If you haven't yet, please. Toda rabah. Tabakasha. Toda rabah. Let's go to chapter 3, verse 1. I'm only going to read a few verses there before I go to 10, because I want to make sure we get through the next. We got 4 more to read after this. Ab says, the Creator knows we learn through repetition. That's why he repeats himself multiple times to make sure that we get it. We just have to hearken, hear, and do. Toda. Okay, I be saying it all the time. He repeats himself all the time. All the time. All right, let's go chapter 3, verse 1. And it says, for look, the master of the Most High of hosts is turning aside from Jerusalem and from Yehuda the stock in the store, all the people of bread and all the people of water, the mighty man and the man of battle, the judge and the prophet, and the diviner and the elder, the commander of 50, and the highly respected man, and the counselor, and the skilled craftsman, and the clever enchanter, and I shall make youth their heads, and children shall rule over them. This isn't supposed to be the way. This isn't supposed to be the way, right? But the Most High is saying something here in chapter 3, right? He's about to shift with the leadership, and the youths are going to be the heads of these leaders. But it's not supposed to be the way. But the reason it's becoming that way is due to what we have done then and what we are doing now. Verse 5, and the people shall exert pressure, man on his neighbor. The young rise up against the older, and the lightly esteemed against the highly esteemed. We're seeing that now. I was watching a couple YouTube videos of some of the camps, and I'm seeing one of the leaders of another organization, and he's pretty young, and he's talking about a leader at another organization that been in the walk since like 1990 something. Now, to give him credit, he was very respectful, but he's still going to clear his name. But what I'm saying is we're seeing that now. The young is going to rise up against the older, and the lightly esteemed against the highly esteemed. It's going to happen, and it's being done for a purpose. Even in the example I'm using, when he was responding to something, he was very respectful, and he was just showing what was wrong, and he was right completely. You know, he showed us evidence of things of that nature, and it was going towards someone that was highly esteemed, an elder, you know, who he respects. But what I'm saying is it's a shift happening now, just like it did then, and it's for the same exact reason, because we're losing what we're doing it for. We have to go back to what we're doing it for. When a man takes hold of his brother in the house, verse 6, when a man takes hold of his brother in the house of his father by the garment and says, "Come, be a chief over us, and let this ruin be under your hand." Why is this person having to say, "Be a chief over us"? Because the chiefs are not doing their job. The leaders are not doing their job at all. That's what the prophets are here for. He says in verse 8, "For Jerusalem has stumbled, and Yehuda has fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against the Most High, to provoke the eyes of his esteem. The look on their faces witnesses against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They do not hide it. Woe to their being, for they have brought evil upon themselves. Say to the righteous, it is well, for they eat the fruit of their doings. Woe to the wrong, evil, for the reward of his hand is done to him. My people, youths exert pressure on them, and women rule over them. O my people, your leaders lead you astray and swallow the way of your paths." Right? Most High shall stand up to plead and is standing to judge the peoples. The Most High enters into judgment with the elders of his people and its heads, so the elders and the leaders. It is you who have eaten up the vineyard. The plunder of the poor is in your houses. Right? What do you mean by crushing my people and grinding the faces of the poor? We're going to touch on that poor if I have time. The poor is not just only talking about finances, but we're going to get into that, hopefully. My people in grinding the faces of the poor, declares the master of the Most High of hosts. All right? I'm not going to read the rest. I want you all to read the rest. I want to get to 10 because we got to get to 14. But I want you all to read the rest. It starts to go into the daughters of Zion. I'll read the next verse so I can be some balance in there. And the Most High says, "Because of the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with outstretched necks and seductive eyes, walking and menacing as they go, making a jingling with their feet. Therefore, the Most High shall smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Most High expose their nakedness." It's a school of thought that speaks on, because the daughters of Zion are doing this. Some people think that this is dealing with just talking about Zion, Israel as a whole. But then some people that thinks this is talking about our women, and I'm not opposed to either one of them, right? But since they are acting in this way, because we're doing it today, our women are doing it today. So they're the same. Prince teaches this, they're the same. We're the same people, right? So they were doing it then. But since they were doing it, now it has caused them to mess with their hair and all that other stuff, right? And I'm not against that. But I think if we go back to our natural ways and obedience, you know, as we see a lot of our women today are going natural, changing the way they eat, hair is growing, and I hope they're changing their lives back to serving the Most High properly. But if you aren't, then this applies to you too. What are you doing it for? Are you wearing hair wraps and wearing clothes to just only be seen? Is it sincere? If it's not sincere, then calamity is more than likely going to come. What are you doing it for? So not only are we talking about the leaders, Not only are we talking about the children, the youth, the people, but we're talking about everyone. What are you doing it for? Okay. Let's go to chapter 10. Is there anyone that has anything to say? I have an hour left, so I believe we may make it through it. All praise to the Most High. Anyone have a question or a comment before I continue? All right. No one has a comment.
Very quickly, just to well, great lesson, first of all, and it's definitely a needed word. It's really a right now and a present word for those that will hearken. And everything that you're saying is on point. Excuse me. And so one of the references that immediately came up my ruach was Yirmiyahu, Jeremiah 6:16, and it says, "Thus says Yahuwah, stand in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths, where the good way is, the told way is, and walk in it, and find rest for yourselves." But the last verse is the one that always gets me. But they said, we do not walk in it. And sadly, this is what's happening today. But the thing is, if we choose to walk in it, because it has to be an act of your will, if we walk in it, then we will be blessed. He's given us his promises. We have his promises to stand on and the benefits of obedience. But the benefits of obedience will never be ours if we don't stand in it. We can't blame anybody but ourselves, because yes, we want the nation to unify. We want the nation to come together and to coalesce. But that until that happens, we can't sit around and say, well, since they're not doing it, I'm not going to do it, because then it will never happen. And so we can't just, and that's where we shouldn't be lemmings. That's where we should be leaders in our own rights, to step and to make, because the first person that you lead is yourself. Before you try to lead anybody else, you have to be able to lead yourself. And so the way that you do that is to hearken, which means to hear and to do of the instructions, the Torah that the Creator has given unto us. So Benny, great lesson, such a great lesson. And again, I pray that those that have an ear will hear, and then pass this on to others. And if you haven't already, again, those that are tuning in, share it again. Let it come up on your news feed again, so that these things are it'll refresh itself. I yield. Torah.
Torah. All glory to the Most High. As I always say, a lot of us, we read this so many times. We read Yeshayahu so many times, been in it for a long time, but it's things we still don't know, different perspectives that still sound that we don't view. So I hope that it's something being said that even the scholars that's listening right now can grab hold of. All right. I think I'm gonna be able to make it, y'all. I want to make it because I want to get to the end. So we're going to go to chapter 10. Please go through the rest of those chapters. Within the rest of those chapters, that's where a lot of sound bite doctrines that are the most sought out doctrines and pertaining to the Bible in general. Maybe I'll do another lesson on that later to kind of dissect that, so you can have something else to use to get an understanding of what I'm talking about with those soundbite doctrines. But I know some of you know what I'm speaking of. All right, let's go to chapter 10, verse 1. Now, there is context to it, but I want to pinpoint different aspects of what's being said here for us to get an understanding we can bring to this time as far as with us. All right. Verse 1 says, "Woe to those making unrighteous inscriptions and writers who have prescribed toil." This is amazing. Woe to those making unrighteous, what does it say? Decrees, okay? Unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. And we see that. We see that in communities, as far as decrees. We see that in camps that they call it. We see it everywhere. And the bad thing about it, the most horrific thing about it, is we don't believe that it can be us. I learned a new an added phrase to basically my school of thought. And this was said to me that only cause you only can see from where you're sitting. I never said it that way before, but I'm going to start saying it that way. I said that you only can see from where you're sitting, right? And I like that. And I think that's what a lot of who are being spoken about here and those of us here are doing. We only can see from our point of view, but we don't have to. We can literally see from other point of views if we want to, but for most people, it's impossible to. And a lot of times it's because of we believe we know it all. That goes from the youth to those that's the highest. You know, some of us have children that might think they know it all too when they start getting smarter. And you know, sometimes we let them do certain things so they can continue to build their character, but we reprimand them. We correct them, and children for some reason are more acceptable to a listener. I guess because they have to. But hey, but we only can see from where we're sitting, most of us, and we don't have to be that way. If we just open our mind and see from other points of views, it might strengthen us individually to be better teachers and servants of the Most High and leaders and things of that nature. Because apparently our people before, they didn't do it. That's why these prophets are coming to the leaders. It says to keep the needy back from right ruling, right? So let me read verse 1 again. Woe to those making unrighteous decrees or inscriptions and writers who have prescribed toil to keep the needy back from right ruling and to take what is right from the poor of my people, that widows become their prey and orphans their plunder. This is sad and it's horrible. Widows become their prey. What does that mean? Huh? What does widows becoming their prey mean? They're not caring about the widows, right? They're using these widows. They're going after these widows and these orphans. Verse 3, what shall you do in the day of visitation and in the ruin which comes from afar? To whom would you run for help? And where would you leave your wealth? Without me, they shall bow down among the prisoners and fall among the killed. With all this, his displeasure has not turned back, and his hand is still stretched out. His hand is still stretched out, right? Woe to Ashur, the rod of my displeasure, and the staff in whose hand is my displeasure. Against a defiled nation I send him. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Against a defiled nation I send him, and against the people of my wrath I command him to seize the spoil, to take the prey, and to tread them down like the mud of the streets. Right? Wow. But he does not intend so, nor does his heart think so. For it is in his heart to destroy and cut off not a few nations, right? So he's used in this instant to do something, and he's doing more. For he says, are not my princes sovereigns? Is not Calno like Carchemish? Is not Hamath like Arpad? Is not Shomeron like Damascus? As my hand has found the reins of the idols, whose carved images excel those of Jerusalem and Shomeron, I have done to Shomeron and her idols, do I not do also to Jerusalem and her idols? So the Most High is consistent, what he's saying basically. And it should be when the Most High has performed all his work on Mount Zion, or Mount Zion, and on Jerusalem, that I shall punish the fruit of the greatness of the heart of the sovereign of Ashur. Why? Because he's did more than what he was supposed to do. I'm not falling away from what I'm trying to say, you all. The title of this lesson is what are you doing this for? It's something that is supposed to happen here. What are you doing it for? right? So the Most High was putting something in place to happen to us, but he went over and beyond. But it's supposed to happen to us to get us back somewhere and for us to realize something and to truly understand what we're doing it for. It's not just about us. It's about the Most High. And the boasting of his haughty looks. Verse 13, for he has said, by the power of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom, for I have been clever, and I removed the boundaries of the people, and have robbed their treasuries, and I put down the inhabitants like a strong one. What is messed up? What is he doing wrong? I. Arrogant, proud. Right? All of this is connected. What are we doing it for? 14, and my hand finds the riches of the people like a nest, and I have gathered all the earth like forsaken eggs are gathered, and there was no one who moved his wing, nor opened his mouth with even a peep. With the axe boast? So now, with the axe boast itself over him who chops it? This goes back to the last chapter when I was talking about the Most High wants us to be low. And he's going to remove and consume those that are continuing to put themselves high. Because when you continue to put yourself high, then now you are putting yourself next to the Most High. This goes for everyone, all of us. If we can get to a point where we don't think that we could get to a point that we think it's impossible for us to do that we begin to do it. We believe that it's impossible for us to do it so much that we begin to do it. The best way not to have that done is to always remain low. He said with the axe, verse 15, boast itself over him who chops with it, or the saw exalt itself over him who saws with it, as a rod waving those who lift it up, as a staff lifting up that which is not wood. Therefore the Master, the Most High of hosts, sends leanness among his fat ones. Right? Your stuff gonna look anorexic now. And under his esteem, he kindles a burning like the burning of a fire. Right? That which he esteemed so greatly, oh, he gonna kindle it, he gonna burn it up now. Why? Because you keep thinking yourself to be more than what you are. You are who you are because of the Most High. 17, and the light of Israel shall be for a fire, and his set apart one for a flame, and it shall burn and devour his weeds and his thorn bushes in one day, and consume the esteem of his forest and of his fertile field, both life and flesh, and they shall be as when a sick man wastes away. And the remaining trees of his forest shall be so few in number that a child can record them. Why? What number is he saying? He's talking about a child that can barely count. It's going to be so few that a child could count it. Some of y'all have children that can only count to 10. When they get to 11, they start saying 9 again, or 7. 20 says, and in that day it shall be that the remnant of Israel and those who have escaped of the house of Jacob never again lean upon him who struck them, but shall lean upon the Most High, the set apart one of Israel in truth. We are leaning upon them who struck us today. We are dependent upon the United States of America. That's what's happening. But it's saying right here, never again will we lean upon him who struck them, but shall lean upon the Most High. A remnant shall return, the remnant of Jacob, to the mighty El. Verse 22, for though your people, O Israel, be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. A decisive end, overflowing with righteousness. Though we are like Goodness gracious. Yeah, Princess. I was about to say man myself. We are a lot in numbers. And guess what? Many of us think that we are good. Many of us, those that are leaders, those that are not, we think we are great. But this literally just lets you know. It said, though Yisrael be as the sand of the sea. Y'all, you know how much sand there is? Like each little tiny sand, it's a lot, right? Only a remnant of them shall return. So a remnant from what's supposed to be the remnant, only they will return. A decisive end, overflowing righteousness. Now it's going to be overflowing righteousness because why? These remnant of a remnant, they're actually righteous. They're the people who actually doing what we're claiming, or what most of us as Israel is claiming to do. A lot of us believe we are that. We have to make sure we're dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's and pressing to improve. Keep improving in our character, in our integrity, in how we deal with one another. We have to keep improving. This goes for me first before I tell any of y'all that. I have to keep improving, because the day that I don't think that I can improve is a day that I'm going to be consumed. And I pass this on to y'all too. 23 says, for the master, the most high of hosts, is making a complete end as decided in the midst of all the earth. Right? Therefore, thus says the master, the most high of hosts, my people who dwell in Sion, be not afraid of Ashur, who struck you with a rod and lifts up his staff against you in the way of Mitzrayim. Didn't that happen here in America? Right? All this stuff is the same thing, it's connected. It happened and we're loving it. But the ones that are the remnant of a remnant, he's telling you, be not afraid. Those who struck you with a rod and lifts up his staff against you in the way of Mitzrayim, for yet a little while, just a little while, and a displeasure shall be completed, and my displeasure be to their destruction. And the Most High of Hosts stirs up a lash for him as the smiting of Midian at the rock of Oreb, and as his rod was on the sea, so shall he lift it up in the way of Mitzrayim. 27, and in that day it shall be that his burden is removed from your shoulder. His burden is removed from your shoulder in that day. So that's not talking about right now. I mean, it's not talking about what we're reading right now. In that day, but they could feel it too, right? They did feel it here, but I'm talking about us right now, right? But it said, in that day it should be that this burden is removed from your shoulder and his yoke from your neck. Y'all remember George Floyd, right? On that neck. It's been happening to us nonstop, and we're not taking it serious. What are we doing it for? Why are we continuing to go back to loving the people who are doing this to us? Why are we going back to loving even our people that's doing it to us, right? And what I mean by that is we're supposed to love. We're supposed to ask Most High have mercy on our people, things of that nature. But don't keep putting yourself in harm's way. That's why I was talking to more Zakaria about earlier, as far as saying, hey, you don't just share it to anybody. She didn't say she would, by the way, y'all. Just saying. But you don't do that. You got to be wise. Scripture shows us how to be wise, right? And the yoke shall be destroyed because of the anointing oil. I was talking about earlier what Princess was doing to my aim-in-law, bless her memory, right? Making it comfortable, soothing with anointing oil. I'm not talking about the oil that was prescribed for the priest to do. I'm talking about just in general, we're supposed to be soothing to one another. It's going to be some hard times. It's going to be some tough moments, some speech and things of that nature. But for the end goal, in general, it should be soothing. That's what it should be. That's what I'm saying it should be anyway. Those that may disagree. 28. He has come upon Ayath. He has passed Migron and Michmash. He stored his supplies. They have gone through the pass. They have taken up lodging at Gaba. Ramah is afraid. Gibeah of Shaul has fled. Lift up your voice, O daughter of Galium. Listen. Laisha, O poor Anathoth. Madmana has fled. The inhabitants of Gibeon sought refuge. So all these individuals, they gone now. Yet he remains at the Nob that day. He shakes his fist at the mountain of the daughter of Sion, the hill of Jerusalem. Look, the master, most high of hosts, is lopping off a branch with an awesome crash, and the tall ones are cut down. Those tall ones was the people I'm talking about who's continuing to exalt themselves. In context, these are talking about the ones that had a foot on our neck, but we have our own foot on our own neck towards each other too. Those individuals coming down too. How do I know that? Because it's going to be on the remnant of a remnant. Children of Israel is like the sand of the sea, but only a remnant of a remnant. So those that we love as Israel probably ain't going to make it either. Let's hope that we're not those. So it says, look, the master of hosts is lopping off a branch with an awesome crash, and the tall ones are cut down, verse 33, and the lofty ones are laid low. And he shall cut down the thickets of the forest with iron, and Lebanon shall fall as a mighty one. All right. That was only chapter 10. But I think the rest of these chapters are that I'm going to. Yep, 11 and 12 is very short, so we're going to make it. We're going to make it, y'all. Yep, 13 is very short because I want to get to 14. So we're on, that was 11, right? That was 11? All right, told everybody. All right, let's keep going, y'all. Let's keep going. We're going to get through this. We have time. And a rod, verse 1 in chapter 11, and a rod shall come forth from the stump of Jesse, and a sprout from his roots shall be fruitful. So we know the schools of thoughts of what this chapter is. And sometimes who is attributed to, but I just want to pinpoint some things in the chapter. What are we doing this for? So we're going to read about what we're doing it for, but I have to go through this. Verse 2 says, the spirit of the Most High shall rest upon him, the spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Most High, and shall make his breath in the fear of the Most High, and he shall not judge by the sight of his eyes, nor decide by the hearing of his ears. This is important. Regardless who we believe this is talking about, whether it's talking about Israel, whether it's talking about a leader in Israel, whether it's talking about whatever, we should learn from what this leader, whoever this is. I'm not going to tell y'all what I know it to be, but I want you to look at the attributes of what it's saying, right? It says, the spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Most High. And fear of the Most High is subjective too. Our understanding of fear of the Most High can be different, right? But the scripture tells us what the fear of the Most High is. Keeping the commandments of the Most High. But then what's the commandments? Are we doing good to others as ourselves in the way that those others may want to be done good to them too? So it's so much. It's so deep, y'all. And we got to dissect it to get a better understanding so that we can be better and we can continue improving. And shall make him breathe in the fear of the Most High. He shall not judge by the sight of his eyes, nor decide by the hearing of his ears, which a lot of us do. But with righteousness, he shall judge the poor. And this poor is not only talking about finances. And shall decide with straightness for the meek ones of the earth, and shall strike the earth with the rod of his mouth, and slay this wrong with the breath of his lips. Right? And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and trustworthiness the girdle of his waist. And a wolf shall dwell with the lamb, and a leopard lie down with the young goat, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and the little child leads them. Now, we're seeing some of this today. We're seeing some of this in some videos. We're seeing people walking with lions and all this stuff and animals coming together. We're seeing it. I'm not saying that this time is about to be happening. I don't know. But this is talking about a time where it's going to have some level of, not even some level, let's keep reading. And cow and bear shall feed their young ones lie down together. The cow and the bear. And a lion eat straw with an ox. And the nursing child shall play by the cobra's hole, and the weaned child shall put his hand in the adder's den. What are we doing this for, you all? What are we waiting for? It has to be a goal. Your why is going to allow you to operate the Most High properly and your people properly. Your why has to be more than just for you. Remember, I was talking about personal training and people I trained. I got them to lose 40 pounds for a trip they were going to. Their why was small. As soon as they came back, they gained it back. So if your why is not strong in this, you're going to go right back into sin. And your sin may become greater because now you're continuing to return to it and you thinking nothing's going to happen to you. Hey, nothing happened to me. I got to be listening to me. I'm getting all this. I'm getting this. I don't know. We should read the scripture and see. I don't know. They do not, verse 9, they do no evil, nor destroy in all my set apart mountain. For the earth shall be filled with knowledge of the Most High as the waters cover the sea. So we know this is going to be it's going to be later, right? Because this knowledge is going to be spread like water covers the sea. We haven't even delved into all the water of the earth yet. So that's a lot of knowledge. And we know that the knowledge is not properly dispersed right now across the earth. So we know that this is towards the end. All right. Oh yeah, let's keep reading because we have to read this part. In that day, there should be, verse 10, the root of Jesse or Yeshai, standing as a banner of the people. Unto him the nations shall seek, and his rest shall be esteemed. But watch this. And it should be in the day of the Most High. It should be in that day that the Most High sets his hand against a second time to recover the remnant of his people who are left from Ashur and from Mizraim and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar, from Hamath and from the islands of the sea, right? In their mind, islands of the sea is away from them. Away from them will be what? Us over here. 12, and he shall raise a banner of the nations and gather the outcasts of Israel and assemble the dispersed of Yehuda from the four corners of the earth. And the envy of Ephraim shall turn aside. Why? What is he talking about? Ephraim got envy with who? Right? And the envy of Ephraim shall turn aside, and the adversaries of Yehuda be cut off. Ephraim should not envy Yehuda, and Yehuda should not trouble Ephraim. That's when they're talking about two tribes. But I say that we're doing this across the board with each other. This is going to have to cease in order for the Most High to really dwell with us. The way that we claim we want the Most High to dwell with us, we cannot have envy with each other. Them right there, they was going against Torah. But we're reading right here, they were going against Torah just like we are today. If we're envying other people, we got something against other people, we doing all this and we having hatred, are we keeping the Torah? Maybe we should hush a bit about pushing and preaching the Torah so much until we can master those little big things within Torah. We have to do better. We gotta do better, y'all. 14, but they shall fly down upon the shoulder of the Philistines toward the west. Together they plunder the people of the east, their hand stretching forth on Edom or Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall be subject to them. So this is something we're waiting. What are we doing it for? It's something gonna happen. You know, some of you might not like the rest of we're about to read about what's going to happen, but they're going to be subject to them. And the Most High shall put under the band of the tongue, the tongue of the sea of Mizraim, and he shall wave his hand over the river with the might of his spirit, and shall strike it in the 7 streams, and shall cause men to tread in its sandals. And there shall be a highway for the remnant of his people. This is amazing. Those left from Ashur, as it was for Yisrael in the day when he came up from the land of Mizraim. So we know this has not happened yet. The same way it was in Mizraim, same way it's going to be now. He said a highway for the remnant of his people. So it's not going to be all of his people. Make sure that you are the remnant of the remnant, or make sure that you are the remnant of his people. Same thing. What do we have to do to be the remnant of his people? We have to do more than what is normally what normally the people are doing. And that is circumcise your mind, the way you think about me, and the way you think about your brothers and sisters. That's it. Chapter 12 is only 6 verses. Let's go to it. We're closing out soon, y'all. And in that day, you shall say, I thank you, O Most High. Though you were enraged with me, your displeasure has turned back and you have comforted me. Right? This is what Malachi is talking about. Malachi 3. Right? He was enraged, but his displeasure has turned back. He still is present in some way. And the reason he's present, Isaiah spoke on it, because of for the sake of that remnant. So you all be that remnant. We have to be the remnant of that remnant for the sake of Israel as a whole. Verse 2, see, El is my deliverance. I trust and am not afraid, for Yah, for the Most High, is my strength and my song, and he has become my deliverance. And you shall draw water with joy from the fountains of deliverance. And in that day you shall say, praise the Most High. Hallelujah. Call upon his name, make known his deeds among the peoples. Make mention that his name is exalted. And in that day you shall say, praise the Most High. Call upon his name. We should be doing that now. But in that day, everyone is going to be extremely happy. Right? Sing to the Most High, for he has done excellently. This is known in all the earth. Cry aloud and shout. This is known in all the earth. Cry aloud and shout, O inhabitant of Sion. For great is the set apart one of Israel in you. What are you doing it for? Are you doing it for this? Or are you doing it for yourself? Are you doing it for all the people? For the desire of all the people to make it? You may know only a remnant of the remnant is going to make it, but are you doing it for all the people? Moshe could have had a nation made just from him, but he wanted the people to make it. He wanted all the people to make it. All right, that was chapter 12. Let's go ahead and go to 13. We almost done. I'm making good on time. In that day, okay, in that day. 13:1, you all. And the reason I'm reading, I like going through and reading, you all. That's my thing, because I know a lot of people don't read. I like to read through it. I like to get and just bring out the major points of it, because I know a lot of us do not read, even though we're told to. A lot of us may read once every couple weeks, once a month, or just on Shabbat. So I'm encouraging you all to read more. Told our Chief Malak, I'm definitely going to do that, you know. We got 2 more chapters, but I'm definitely appreciate you. But yeah, you all, that's why I'm doing this. I like to read, because it's going to be something that I might bring out, or something you might catch that I ain't say. You might read it, like, oh, you know, so I like doing it this way. All right. Verse 1, the message concerning Babel, which Yeshayahu son of Amos saw. Lift up a banner on the high mountain, raise your voice to them, wave your hand, let them enter the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my set apart ones. I have also called my mighty men for my displeasure, my proudly exalting ones, right? The noise of an uproar in the mountains like that of many people, a noise of uproar of the range of nations gathered together. The Most High of hosts is gathering an army for battle. Okay, let me go to 3 real quick. Sanctify what I call my mighty ones. Anger, even that. Okay, so yeah, I didn't like my translation. That's why I had to go back up there. All right, verse 5. They are coming from a distant land, from the end of the heavens, even the Most High and his weapons of displeasure. So this is the Most High. This is the moment. This is a lot of these prophets. They're saying the same thing. This is related to Zechariah chapter 14, I believe it is. I think it's Zechariah 14. So context is key. Scripture interprets scripture. Cain, Cain. But he's painting the same picture that Zechariah was painting in 14, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 14. And this is this time, right? Verse 6, how? For the day of the Most High is near. It comes as a destruction for the Almighty. Therefore, all hands go limp. Every man's heart melt. And they shall be afraid, right? All their hands is going to go. So they hold it when they ready weapons, just go, they scarce. All this pride they hide. America, but they deem themselves as the greatest army on the earth. But as soon as this time happens, their hands are going to go limp. Their hearts is going to melt. I mean, they ain't going to have they ain't going to be tough. You know what I'm saying? And they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows take hold of them. They are in pain as a woman in labor. They are amazed at one another. Their faces aflame. See, the day of the Most High is coming, fierce with wrath and heat of displeasure, to lay the earth waste and destroy its sinners from it. Y'all heard verse 9? Yisrael, B'nai Yisrael, children of Israel, do not call yourself sinners. Stop calling yourself sinners. It says, see, the day of the Most High is coming, fierce with wrath and heat of displeasure, to lay the earth waste and destroy its sinners from it. I mean, if you a sinner, then yeah, call yourself that, by the way. If you purposely and on purpose do go against the laws of the Most High, then yeah, you are that. But don't have that school of thought that is being taught across the world right now when it pertains to the Bible. Be intentional with not wanting to be a sinner. All right. 10, it says, for the stars of the heavens and their constellations do not give off their light. The sun shall be dark at its rising, and the moon not send out its light. This is prophecy. And I shall, after us, I should say, whether it's in this time of our lifetime or after, but this is not in this time. And I shall punish the world for its evil and the wrong for their crookedness, and shall put an end to the arrogance of the proud. Notice it says arrogance of the proud. And I'm glad I came down here and read that, because when you go to a verse, when you go up in verse, one of the first few verses, it says something about my proud. Where is it at? Can't find it. But it talked about proud, but this says the arrogance of the proud. Okay? The arrogance of the proud. That is very detrimental to our people. If you are, whether you're just someone that wants to be a servant of the Most High, verse 3, or whether you are a leader, it's detrimental to our people if we are arrogant, extremely. And, you can only see yourself from where you sit, is what, I like that saying. I'm going to start saying it. But verse 12 says, I shall make mortal man scarcer than fine gold, and mankind scarcer than the gold of fear. So I shall make the heavens tremble, and the earth shall shake from her place in the wrath of the Most High of hosts, and in the day of the heat of his displeasure. And it should be as the hunted gazelle or gazelle, and as a sheep that no man takes up. Every man turns to his own people, and everyone flees to his own land. This should be the case right now. And I wish I was taught this when I was young. And I think that a lot of us should be taught this. It says that, and it should be as the hunted gazelle and as the sheep, that no man takes up. Every man turns to his own people, and every one flees to his own land. Why is that important? Because this Tanakh, or Torah, I should say, because in this time they was only having the Torah, is letting us know to be about us as a people. But for some reason, we want to be like those outside of us. So we go to them. And I ain't even just talking about marriage. This ain't even specifically talking about marriage, right? We can be catering more so to the other nations as to what they're doing. But we should just be and turn to our own people, in businesses today. This can help us thrive, all these different things turn into our own people so that we can flourish better. But in this day, it's telling us that's what's going to happen. Whoever is found is thrust through, and everyone taken, fallen by the sword. And their children are ravished to pieces before their eyes, their houses plundered and their wives ravished. See, I am stirring up the Medes against them who do not regard silver, and as for gold, they do not delight in it. Why? They don't care about no bribes. Right now, we so divided. When this thing truly happens, they ain't gonna care about different camps. They ain't gonna care about Bayat Mazan and Temple Kifarim or IUIC or Sakari and all that. They gonna look at all of us the same. That's what that's saying right here. I don't care about silver and stuff. You can't bribe me. We just gonna kill y'all. See, I am stirring up the Medes against them. Okay, let's keep going. 19, and Babel, the splendor of reigns, the comeliness of the pride of Kasdim shall be as when Elohim overthrows Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, let's go to the last chapter. 14 is the last chapter. And then after that last chapter, I'm going to read 3 verses. So we're going to go through this chapter. And then I'm going to read 3 verses and we are done. Told our Rabbah for your patience. And I hope that you've been taking notes, whether it been on a piece of paper or typing or notes in your mind. Verse 1, Isaiah 14, Yeshayahu 14 says, because the Most High has compassion on Yaakov and shall again choose Israel and give them rest in their own land, and the strangers shall join them, and they shall cling to the house of Yaakov. Let's stop there. He has compassion on Yaakov. All these prophets are saying the same thing. That's what Malachi said. If it wasn't for the compassion of the Most High, right? He did not forsake us. He still kept us due to the remnant of the remnant, those teachers, those prophets, for their sake and for what the covenant that he had did with Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov was for their sake. So he had compassion for us as a people. But it says that, and the strangers shall join them. They shall cling to the house of Yaakov. Verse 2, and the peoples shall take them and bring them to their own place, right? Those people, they're going to bring them to their own place. And the house of Israel shall possess them for servants and for female servants in the land. So we're going to be taken to their place, but they're going to be our servants. Right? We're going to be doing it in righteousness, though. But that hasn't happened yet, y'all. And it's going to. Shall possess them for servants and female servants in the land of the Most High, and they shall make captives of their captors and rule over their oppressors. This is going all the way back to Deuteronomy 28. All of this is connected, and it's the Most High continuing to tell us, and we are not paying attention to it. I done talked about a few different subjects in this lesson, y'all, because we're not paying attention to those things. We say it, we speak it, honor Most High while our lips, but our hearts are far from it, which is still in the book of Isaiah, by the way. So we got to keep growing in that department. Let's keep reading. And it shall be in that day, the Most High gives you rest from your sorrow and from your trouble and the hard service in which you were made to serve. And you shall take up this proverb against the sovereign of Babel and say, how the oppressor has seized, the gold gathered seized. The Most High has broken the staff of the wrong, the scepter of the rulers. He who struck the people in wrath with ceaseless blows, he who ruled the nations in displeasure, is persecuted and no restraints. Now, we can apply this to our people as well, because, and our leaders, this ain't talking about that per se, and it is in a little bit, in a bit too. I know it's a school of thought of what we're about to read. I'm not even pinpointing that. I'm just pinpointing the attributes and the characters of what we can see here is still implemented and happening within us. That's a fact, irrefutable. All the earth is at rest and at peace. Verse 7, they shall break forth into singing. Even the cypress trees rejoice over you, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since you were cut down, no woodcutter has come up against us. Sheol from beneath is excited about you to meet you at your coming. It stirs up the dead for you, all the chief ones of the earth. It has raised up from their thrones all the sovereigns of the nations. All of them respond and say to you, have you also become as weak as we? Have you become like us? Your arrogance has been brought down to Sheol, and the sound of your string instruments, the maggot is spread under you, and worms cover you. You all read all this, but we're going to read it anyway. How you have fallen from the heavens, O Lucifer, I believe it says in the other translations. Let me see. Yeah. Son of the morning, you have been cut down to the ground, you who laid low the nations. For you have said in your heart, let me go up to the heavens. Let me raise my throne above the stars of El, and let me sit in the mount appointment of the sides of the north. Right? This same thing that's being talked about here, we have read it to this point, dealing with leaders and those that was ruling over us too. It's the same attribute that we are grabbing hold of today. For you have said in your heart, let me go up in the heavens. Let me raise my throne above the stars of El, and let me sit in mount of appointment on the sides of the north. Let me go up above the heights of the clouds. Let me be like the Most High. But you are brought down to Sheol, to the sides of the pit. Moshe said, boom, here, you fools, basically, take this water that we give you. Once he did that, he put himself in the place of the Most High. Once Moshe did that, he put himself in the place of the Most High, and he was, I would say, a perfect leader. Muslam and Tom. Muslam and Tom. But what we've been reading is the Most High don't want nobody where he is or above him. And once you start doing what we're reading here, any one of us, if this could happen to Moshe, who the heck are we? I'm going to jump down to, I'm not going to read all of it. I'm going to jump down to 32. And then it's going to be 4 verses I read, and then we're done, you all. Verse 32 says, and what does one answer the messengers of a nation? We're supposed to be messengers to the other nations. But this says, what does one answer the messengers of a nation? Right? So it's still referring to us, the righteous ones anyway. And it says, the Most High, that the Most High has founded Zion, and the poor of his people take refuge in it. The Most High has founded Zion, and the poor of his people take refuge in it. We have read that a remnant of a remnant is going to be doing the same thing as they had did from Israel, and they're going to be led to Zion. So we can argue and say this is poor dealing with finances. But let's read the 3 scriptures, and this is going to be done, because it's something that we have to understand when it says the poor of his people will take refuge in it. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 57. I'm only reading 3 verses, 57 and 15 first. 57 and 15 first. And it says, For thus declares the high and exalted one who dwells forever, whose name is set apart. I dwell in the high and set apart place with him who has a bruised and humble spirit, to revive the spirit of the humble and to revive the heart of the bruised one, to revive the spirit of the humble, the low. If I'm reaching, let's go somewhere else. Isaiah 66 and 2, last chapter of Isaiah. It says, and all these my hand has made, and all these that exist, declares the Most High. Yet to such a one I look, to such a person, this is who I look at or look for, on him who is poor and bruised of spirit, who is poor, not finances, poor and bruised of spirit, and who trembles at my word. How many of us is trembling at the word of the Most High? Truly. Let's do it if we're not. Let's grow into it. Let's build, each one of you. Right? Last place, Psalms 34 and 18. Psalms 34 and 18. And it says, the Most High is near to the brokenhearted and save those whose spirit is crushed, right? Or low. Those people that have a low spirit or a crushed spirit typically are those people that truly adore, serve, and want to please the Most High, right? Because you can have a crushed spirit, like you brokenhearted that you lost this, but you could be a wicked person. So this is not what this is talking about. So with that, I yield. What are you doing it for, you all? What are you speaking about, teaching about? How are you moving when you're saying you're Yisrael? What are you doing it for? Out of all these things that we have read today, or we have saw today, let that be the thing that shift you at this point and bring you closer to the Most High. Toda Rabah.
May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabah. Thank you for that lesson. Wonderful lesson. Much knowledge, much understanding coming forward from that lesson.
Toda. Glory to the Most High.
Good. See, that's the kind of lesson you got to go back and listen to over and over and over, because there's different levels of understanding coming through in that message. He did it all calm, cool, collective. He wasn't rushing. He wasn't loud. He wasn't boisterous. He was at the same mellow tone all the way through, because he had a point to show. And he got to his point. Any questions or comments, family, in reference to the lesson? Or in reference to anything you may have a question about?
Cain, Yeshli Sheela.
Okay, Mashiela.
Could you explain the verses that talked about like the different kinds of animals eating with each other? And I think it said a child will be somewhere near a nest of some kind. I didn't really understand that parable.
Listen, you talking me or Prince?
Kane, take it. That's it.
Oh, well, in that moment, a lot of what we was reading was the end. Like, what's the end goal? That's why I was saying, what are you doing it for? Are you doing it and putting yourself in place for the end goal? And in that particular chapter when we was reading that, it was talking about it's going to be peace. It's going to be so peaceful that we're going to be able to do things that we normally are timid about doing now. You know, these types of animals that could kill us, you know, all these different things that happens to us. It's not going to happen. We're not going to have to worry about that in the day of the Most High.
All right, I want to bring out something too. Genesis, the first chapter. See, I like how you put that together. And the thing that's going to happen is how things was and how it was intended to be. There you go. Is how we're going to go back to being. Genesis, the first chapter, verse 29. And Elohim said, behold, I have given to you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in which there is fruit, in which the fruit of the tree yielding seed to you shall be for meat. So that meant that all the humans, men, women, humans, children, humans, were supposed to eat the herbs. We wasn't never meant to eat meat. Never. We wasn't meant to eat meat. We were meant to eat the herbs of the trees and the field and all those things. And then it goes on and says, to every beast of the earth, to every fowl of the air, to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. Even the animals were supposed to eat vegetation to survive. But in this convoluted world we got today, the animals are eating each other. The animals are eating all types of things, that's favorable to them. They're bloodthirsty animals today. And it's a result of what mankind has done and brought into the earth, what we have introduced, destruction. And what Nasik brought out today is about us returning back to the pure state of being. In that pure state of being, the only way animals can walk together, the lion and the lamb, is if they return back to that natural state of being. That's what we're talking about, reversing what has been done in this earth for so long. And y'all, just like y'all meat eaters out there, that wasn't the original intention. That was a result of a curse. You started eating meat because people started killing. I wrote a book a long time ago, and I said that a while ago. And in my book, I brought that point out. Yep, that the Creator really destroyed us because of our wickedness. And part of our wickedness is we began to eat flesh. We wasn't intended to eat flesh. That wasn't the original intentions of the Creator for us. And then when I tell y'all chicken is unclean, y'all get upset. Why? Don't get upset. It's unclean. Don't eat it. So Isha, that's what he's really trying to say, that we are returning back to the natural order of things. And then he spoke something else. He spoke something else about things that are happening in the earth. And it's all a symbol of returning back to the natural order.
So my only thing with what you said is what about the animals that like have like fangs, like tigers and bears and things like that, that actually eat meat? Like what about them?
They eat meat now. That's not the original intention. The original intention was for them to eat what we just read in Genesis 1:29 and 1:30. They were supposed to eat the herbs of the field. They weren't supposed to eat meat.
Even with the different shaped teeth?
Even with the different shaped teeth.
Right.
You want to say something, sis?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going on mute. 1 second, please.
So, to your point, and shalom, baby kids. Don't I message you? Anyway, to your point with the different shaped teeth, the teeth shape, and also, okay, so first of all, when we talk about like the meat of a thing, especially pertaining to scripture, our original context, it means like the meat of the fruit. It's actually not talking about flesh. Now, when it says flesh, then it's flesh. But when it's talking about the meat of a thing, it's supposed to mean the meat of the fruit. So even when you look at things like gorillas, they actually do have fangs as well. But that's because it is to tear the meat of the fruit and to be able to get the meat of the fruit outside of it. So those animals that have those same fangs were never actually supposed to eat flesh and rip flesh with it, but it was supposed to be used to rip the meat of the fruit. Things like pineapple and mango or any fruit, passion fruit and things, watermelon, things that may have a tougher exterior, those were supposed to be used in order to consume those foods. Yeah. So I just wanted to bring that up.
And it makes me, it also, when you brought that up, it made me think about even with nuts,
Yeah.
people be like, I want to get to the meat of it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, because it was something we talked about the other day with the westernized language, it makes us think when we see a certain word, it automatically makes us think about something that it never was truly related to in the
Right.
beginning. So a lot of it is the, gay was supposed to be happy.
yeah.
Now it's related to the defilement of what people do.
The limp
So right. So I think a lot of it too is us taking the English, what they call the bastard language, and now going back and seeing what the original concept of those words were. Because a lot of things that they introduced to us during confinement times, slavery times, in those times, they did it in a way that we could only really understand it from their concept,
Right.
not from the concept that the creator had already put inside of us. That was all a part of that curse too. When he said you're going to be spread apart, where you're not going to understand each other, your languages no more from each other, and you're going to be taught a whole different thing. So now that we awakening, our spirits really are truly reawakening. Now we're able to say, oh, that's what that word truly means, because we're getting back into the book, into our original language. And then, so it's like, it just really has you consider all things in thought when you're reading things. It's kind of, don't read it in the language that they put it. Try your best to, because I know, like I saw you doing earlier, when I'm reading in my Tanakh, I go to the KJV.
Yes.
Not the KJV.
The lexicon.
Yeah, the lexicon, to see what the Hebrew word is.
Yes.
Because it helps you to better like, oh, wait, they can't mean that.
Right.
They have to mean something else. So I think it's just how we ingest what they're giving us. And then when we think about it, ingesting it, but we also got to regurgitate it out and think about everything they're saying, and then ingest it correctly. So that's what I'm thinking too.
I wanted to just a little bit. I was like, so in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, we're told not to lean on our own understanding, because we have been indoctrinated with the understanding of a westernized mindset. We don't have the understanding of our original culture. So in order to get back to that, we have to understand what Abba is saying. And that comes with the original language, the original tongue, because we know that these words have power, and his word literally is life. So in order to get the understanding that is of the Father, we have to study his language, which is why it's really important for us to get back to that. But I also did want to add to the point that Prince said about how eating meat was a part of the curse, because as we read in the book of Genesis, Adam specifically, his curse was to have to work the land, and that it was going to be very difficult for him. So as we've even experienced here, Georgia red clay and a lot of this earth is very difficult to work with. And so he did not have the spirit in him, really, literally, to be able to understand how to cultivate certain things and how that shift changed everything. So then in that desperation, it's just like, oh, let me just eat this animal that's sitting right here by me. Exactly. And then it literally spirals into the animals, because if we have dominion, we are the heads of this earth and these animals, then what we do is going to seep into them. So until we get ourselves right and get back in alignment, then the animals are going to continue to do so. But that was with the scripture that Nasik brought out. When we do that, then the lion and the lamb will eat together. A child will go put its hand in the adder's nest and be perfectly fine, because we have established that dominion and created that balance and equilibrium back to the origin as we are supposed to.
And I wanted to, because she said something that was on my mind when her and I were kind of sidebarring talking about Adam, right? And the struggle with the land and how he just went to the next thing without actually, well, we don't know what he may have done before he did that. But in retrospect, here we are. So we know what was the outcome, right? So it made me think about our land, like you brought up.
Yeah.
We're having a whole lot of trouble with the land and growing, because part of it is we're not being consistent, right? And then we're not looking at alternate ways to continue growing. And then we just run to the store. And it's the same thing. We're pretty much doing the same thing he did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that flashed in my head like, then, we're not doing any better because we might not be grabbing the meat we see, but we're just still the grocery stores and all that stuff is not the best to have, right? It's the convenience of it, right? And then it also made me think about when you said dominion the other day. Well, it made me think about like Sahaba, right? Our dog here. When we first got her, she was such a sweet dog and everything. And then children started taunting her, and she was real vicious with other children because that's what was done to her. And animals only have a memory of what is repeatedly done to them, even though we loved her. But little children, she saw them as an enemy because little children came and tormented her for a long time. So then once she was removed from that environment, when she saw new little children, she still reacted the same until those little children taught her that they loved her too.
Yeah.
And they appreciated her food. So now she's calmer with them. And the other day I was laughing because she was barking and Free walked by and was like, she started doing something. And Free was like, be quiet, Zahaba. The quiet got quiet and because she's teaching her, like, I'm in charge. You don't bark at me when I'm walking by. You know me, and teaching her that that's not. So then Stoll was barking. And Zahaba started barking again and told her, be quiet, Zahaba looked and was like, okay. But, it's like what you said, going back to that beginning. Mm-hmm. So if we do the things that the Most High told us from the beginning, we're not running back and forth to the store. We're not, teaching our animals to not listen to us with love and righteousness. Mm-hmm. Because it's one thing to train your animals with love and righteousness, but it's another to torment them, because that's when they become a changed animal. They weren't bred or made to hate us or to dislike us, or even fear us in a certain manner. They were made to obey us and to be along with us, like you were saying, that pastor was saying, eating together and we sitting right there, and there was no problems. So, they
Wonderful. See, Nasik, that lesson he taught was a really powerful lesson. It's all over the place, and he got so many different messages in it. And one thing I wanted to bring out was about that otter. The child would be able to put his hand down in the otter's nest. A lot of people don't know about an otter. Yeah. An otter is one of the most vicious, one of the most venomous. It ain't no snake. No, it's like a little muskrat or something. An otter, like a little, yeah.
It looked like a seal and a muskrat together. It's weird.
An otter is so vicious. An otter will chase off a lion. They ain't no joke. Otters is vicious. And what it's saying is that the most vicious of animals will become tamed. That's what it's saying. That's right. Otters ain't afraid of nothing. They ain't no joke. Them otters is something else. So what they're saying really is that even the most vicious of animals will become tamed and passive and friendly. Nobody messes with an otter. None of the animal kingdom messes with an otter. None of them. And one otter will beat up several different hyenas, several different animals, creatures. Otter, you go on YouTube and look up an otter, and they'll show you some videos of some otters beating up some animals. So we're gonna have to give somebody a great name called Otter. We got to name somebody Otter. Who we know that's vicious like that? And call him Otter, because Otter ain't no joke. So here we go, family. Are there any other questions or comments? Well, Nasik is oh, he's back. Any other questions or comments, anyone? Were there any other questions or comments?
Again, and I'm sorry, so luckily there was like I said, there was a lot of wisdom to be gained from that. Like I said, if only we were here, and like I said, it just shows what we should be doing is to bring forth the character that the Creator, the Most High, wants us to have and to be as His people. And only way we're going to do that is just to give heed to His Torah. So He's given us the instructions, He's given us the example, and He's repeated it multiple times unto us. So again, we just have to take heed and hear. We learn through repetition, but sometimes our ears get hard because, and our hearts get hard because, well, we don't want to hear that. Which just simply means that we're just following after our own devices, and so we get self-willed. And anytime you get self-willed, then your will is going to be the one that's going to be your downfall. We need to let the will of the Abba be our will. Love the things that he loves and hate the things that he hates. And so that's when we'll truly be able to see a difference in our lives when we apply these things. Without application, there can be no manifestation. But when we apply it, we'll see his word made manifest in our lives. And again, I love you all and I yield. Shalom, beloved.
May the Most High be praised. And if you notice, I got you. If you notice, we know we're coming on our end times right now, right? We're getting closer and closer to the end times. The European man has predicted that the world is going to end by 2027. Yeah, I'd agree with that. The world going to end by 2027. End don't mean the destruction of the earth. End means change of power. That's what it means. And it just may be by 2027 that we are back in full force running again. Never know. But if you notice, things are returning back to its natural course. They're predicting 2027, the end of their power, end of their reign, the end of their world. And I'm agreeing with that. Probably by 2027, this regime will be over. But in the process of returning, a lot of people are falling away from eating meat. More and more people every day is leaving that meat alone. It's poison. They see all the bad benefits of it. There's nothing positive in eating meat. And they're going back to a natural diet. What they're going back to is the way that the Most High has established for it to be from the beginning. Y'all follow me? A lot of people are going back to the natural order and how the Most High has established it. They don't even know it. 20-something years ago, I used to ride around in my car, right? Nice little car, riding down the street with my hair braided 20, 25 years ago. And people used to look at me and laugh. I was already in this life. I already understood what it was about. Now, the average black man, almost where you go, they all got their hair all out, their hair growing, their beards growing. They don't even know that they're returning back to the order that the Most High had established. They think it's a fad. They think it's just something cool. It's beyond that. It's a natural essence inside of us that's returning us back to what the Most High said we were supposed to be. The European man came along and had us shaving all of our facial hair and balding our heads. The average black man is not walking around with a bald head anymore. They're not. And if you got a bald head, you separate it. It's different if it ain't natural. That's correct. If it ain't natural, you're set aside and you're set apart. You don't even look like the regular people. Our people now, black folk, hair on their head and full beards and mustaches and what they can get. We don't usually mess with that no more. And even if you do got a beard, you're usually shaping it up, but you ain't cutting it off, usually. And that's what's happening with our people today. We're returning back to the natural order as the Creator established it, with our hair, with our clothes, with our food, with our conduct, even in our personality. You see a lot more black people being kinder to each other now. A lot more respect is being shown to the black race through black race. I see a whole lot of changes taking place. It's on its beginning stages. It hasn't developed greatly yet, but it's still, I see it happening. I see it there. We got like a hidden language. We just see brothers and shalom, 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 hey sis, and we don't even know them. You know, it's that something the Creator's bringing something back to us again. And it's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. We just got to be patient. The Most High is at work here. The Most High is at work. Imai, you want to say something?
Slightly. Oh, well, and they just say, are you?
They say what?
Adder. ADDER.
Otter.
No, it says adder.
In this book, it says
OTTER.
Okay, babe, we're just
That's the white man wrote that.
No, and
We
the
looked
otters
it
are
up,
not vicious.
and we looked it up in Hebrew.
What'd you say? Otters?
A wolverine is vicious and badgers are vicious, but the otters are not vicious.
Look at it. Look up an otter. I don't know. Hold up. They told me I don't know what I'm talking about.
We didn't say you
We
did.
didn't say that. We just said you out of the
In that book, in that particular verse, it said adder, and then we looked it up in the Hebrew, and it said what it said in the Hebrew, and it was talking about a viper snake, and I looked it up. I googled the picture of it.
It's Isaiah.
Turn your computer off. They told me I don't know what I'm talking about. So I'll leave it alone. All right. So what is an otter? Look up an otter.
Yeah, I did.
She said an otter is not vicious. I don't know what you're talking about.
I heard they were.
The ones I seen videos of was the gruesome.
Mongooses and wolverines.
No, neither one of them. It's an otter. What I'm talking about is an otter.
Maybe
Adder.
I ain't gonna say that, but I know this is an adder.
The otters are protective, absolutely. Very protective. I know what I'm talking about, the otters. Yeah. And then again, I can't be so careful.
Yeah, they said they can be vicious.
They are extremely vicious. I seen a video.
Otters.
The dark side. Oh my
How
God.
big that thing is?
Yeah, I seen a video where one of them was in a drain. One of them was in a drain. Look, one of them was in the drain, right? Yeah, in the city somewhere, but he was down in the drain, like where all the water run to, the manhole, and he was grabbing up rats and cats and snatching them and eating them. Yeah, ain't no joke.
I know they do wrestle like snakes and stuff like that. I heard
They
like,
kill
wrestle
snakes.
anacondas.
They kill snakes.
That's what it was just showing.
That's crazy.
They kill snakes. Otters ain't no joke. I knew I wasn't that lost out of my mind.
No,
You
it was
doing it but
it was just not
talking
that
about
rough.
This was talking about
Yeah,
That's how.
I knew I wasn't that far gone. Well, I was hoping I wasn't that far gone. This fast is kicking my butt. So my fast is over tomorrow night, and I can't wait to eat. But I'm so thankful that I had the experience that I had, and I only pray that the Father on high heard my prayers and my pleas during my fast for the whole purpose of my fast. I pray that He heard me, and He answers me in a righteous way. Chief Malak says he want to be known as the Otter Chief Malak. He wants to be known as the Otter. I try to remember that, Chief. You wanted to say something else?
Well, I want to.
Hold on.
This.
Yes, you want me?
Not about this. It was about the.
It don't matter. Let me get my mic, please. Yeah.
No, it was something that was brought up earlier with the lesson about the humble spirit and everything in the contrite heart, or the circumcised heart, and something. It actually, when he was talking about it, a memory, and it was just like a recent memory with my father that made me think about it. It was two things that happened. Like, we took him, he wanted to go see the house that's being built for him. And when he walked in, like, you could just see the gratefulness. He sat there and he told my Ish, and when he was talking to all of us, but he was looking at him and was like, this is even more than I even pictured was going to be happening for him. And then the other day when the hospice nurse was here and talking to him, and he was like, well, I'm under the understanding that, I could get better, but I also know that, it's all in the will of the Creator, and I'm not going to fight whatever He decides for me, and so that just reminded me when Nasik was talking about that humble spirit and that meekness, that's how we are supposed to be in whatever spans of life we're in, whether we are thick, well, whatever is going on. And it just reminded me, when they did the tribute for my father, so many people said that about my father, the humbleness and the meekness in him, even though he's a 6'3", he's about 6'3", hefty man. He's never been that, because of his height and his weight, to walk around like he's in charge of everything and loud and, boisterous. but he's always had that humble spirit. And to see him still remain in that stead, you know, even at this level of his life, you know, that just sparked that for me when Nasik was teaching that. So, exactly.
May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. Yeah, Nasik really gave a good lesson today. You are fasting if you can, if you on and mind me asking.
Yes.
I'm fasting for all of us. A part of my fast is for all of us to change our condition, to be more united as a people, to come together, those who are like minds and like spirits who the Most High has singled out from everybody else. Because, you know, a lot of us are mixed in with a lot of different understandings, but yet the Most High has called us out to himself. So those we have called them out to himself, I'm praying that the Creator move forward and bring us all together. And I'm also fasting for other reasons that I don't really want to share right now. But that's one of the reasons, because we got a lot of work to do, family. We got a lot of work to do. And it needs to be fixed. It needs to be corrected. Yes. And it's a big sacrifice. I mean, you know, it might not seem like much, 14 days. Might not seem like much till you do it, till you start it. Yeah.
A long time.
Yeah. Till you go on that fast and turn your plate down for 14 days and you're sitting around people cooking, and then they cooking your favorite meal. Every morning when I'm not fasting, I have quignon and sausage and blueberries. Those are blueberries, right? That I've eaten, blueberries in my quignon every morning. And I put a little honey on it, mix it up, and it's so good. It's just the best. Yeah, I just tear it up. That's my breakfast every day. And then through the rest of the day, I might eat vegetables, or I might eat some fruit, and that's it. I don't eat no meat, no nothing. That'd be my breakfast and my lunch and my dinner. And I usually only eat 2 meals a day. Usually I eat that quignon, blueberry and sausages in the morning. Sometimes I do. And then at night, I'll eat my fruit salad or my regular salad, whichever one I feel like eating that week. And that's all I eat. So I thought this fast would be easy for me. You know, I expected a little bit of tension, but no, this joint kicked my butt real hard. It beat me down. Huh?
Some good things come.
Yeah, I pray that it is. There's a lot of sacrifice and it kicked my butt, ran me down real bad. But it's all right. I'll be all right. When I wake up in the morning, I'm shaking. I can't hardly move. I ain't got no energy. So we're gonna do what we gotta do. We got one more day left after tonight, one more day, and then tomorrow night I get to eat some solid food or food, period, because I haven't eaten any food. Only thing I drank was water. And every once in a while, when I first started my fast, I started with water and grape juice. Yeah, I only ate a little bit. The grape juice was to clean my system out, all up in my urinary tract, all that type stuff, all up in my prostate and all that, and it flushed it all out. So for the first 2 or 3 days, I went to the bathroom real good, real good. And it was all cleaned out. And then all I did was after that was drink water. And then after that, nothing. No more bathroom action. It was a wrap. So I thank the Creator for it. And the endurance part, I was cool up until this week. When this week kicked in, I started feeling super fatigued. And then about 4 or 5 days ago, I started hallucinating. So that's when I stopped driving, when I started hallucinating. I said, no, I probably shouldn't be driving no more. I went to the store Look, I went to the store to buy some materials for the job. And we've been over the material order 4 or 5 times. I knew what I needed. I needed some doors, 36 or 32, 36 or 36 or 36, and a 28. I knew what I needed. I went to the store and it was late at night. And I went and brought all the doors, came back. I got 2 36s. When I supposed to got a 32 and a 36, I got 2 36s. And I took my time, looked at the doors, set them all out, put them on the cart. I knew I got the right doors. And my guy, the contractors, was fussing at me. Why you go? And he talked Dominican, so he don't even talk English. He's talking and he's running his mouth, fussing me out. And I'm right back at him. I know what I got. I got 32s. You better check it. I know what I'm talking about. I went over there and looked at them doors. Them doors were 2 36s. I had to apologize. And then I realized again, I don't need to be doing this. So I started taking him to the store with me. Because my mind, it's not all there. Like right now, one of my fears earlier last night for class was that I would say something out of my mouth that wasn't supposed to be said. Because my mind is not all here. But if y'all hear me say something that ain't supposed to be said, just raise your hand up and say, hey, Prince. Don't say that. And then I catch myself, hopefully. Olive oil with water might help. That sounds good. Help with what? I ain't got to go to the bathroom. No, he's respectful. He know how to be respectful. He just can't control his tongue. He just runs off with his lip. But he know what to do. We don't play over here like that. Meaningful fast is never, what do you say? Meaningful fast is never easy. Again, you're doing what leaders do, Prince, Baruch, Shemo, you got that. Toda Rabbah, bro. Toda Rabbah. Toda Rabbah. Until you've done it, you may not understand. The body goes through. Until you've done it, you may not understand what the body goes through. You got this, Prince. Yeah, we got it. Thank you. I appreciate the spiritual encouragement.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. So, are there any other questions pertaining to the lesson? It was a dynamical lesson that Nasik just taught. Are there any other questions? No other questions. Any other comments? All right, I got you, Sister Sakari. I'm gonna take a little bit. I'm gonna try a little bit tomorrow. I'm gonna wait till the last day. Try a little bit tomorrow, but I done took some tonight and something done blew up on me. So I'll put a little olive oil in there, and I'm gonna drink some tonight. Tomorrow. I'll drink some tomorrow. Sister Saadia is in the room. She letting us know, tuning in all late, letting us know she here. Tuning in all late. Show is all over now. She coming in. She wants the previews. But welcome, Sister Saadia. We missed you this morning. All right. Is there anything else y'all want to talk about? It's 2:00. It's 2:30. It's 2:30. So we supposed to take our break now. We supposed to come back at 4:00. Oh, she said I wasn't late. Don't even try that with me, Prince. I wasn't late. I was just quiet. We're not used to you being quiet. Matter of fact, we don't even like you when you're being quiet. We like you being boisterous. Getting rid of stuff. You're right, Ang. You're right. Sister Sakari, I'm going to try that, though, tomorrow. I'm going to wait till tomorrow to try it on my last day. And Sister Saadia, we need you to be boisterous because you used to keep the flow going. You used to keep a lot of energy alive. That's how I like you. All right, well, do what you feel best, sis. If you feel like being quiet, be quiet. But if you see ain't nobody else talking, speak up and get that energy jumping. And when it starts jumping, then you can go back to being quiet again. All right? 4:30.
Yeah, that's what we usually do.
All right, Ema said we coming back at 4:30. Any objections? Any objections, family? She said we coming back at 4:30. All right, we cool? Alba, you cool with that? 4:30. Aim Kater, you cool with that, Aim? 4:30. Ishi, you cool with that? 4:30. It ain't like I got time to go get nothing to eat. Ain't like I can go get nothing to eat, but what I can do is go get some sleep. And that's another thing that I noticed. My body required much more sleep since I haven't been eating. Much more sleep. I've been taking naps around 2 o'clock every day. Except today, I fell asleep a whole bunch in class. Over there on the floor.
See y'all.
Fell asleep.
before the week.
Must be one of them times, huh?
You keep saying stuff.
What'd you say?
I say you said you fell asleep in class. That's not good.
Yeah, I was over there. I was over there sitting on the edge of the platform. I was tired. My body is just not the same right now. Hey, listen, I ain't looking for no sympathy. I don't want y'all to think I'm saying this because I'm looking for sympathy. I don't care about sympathy. I'm just sharing with y'all what I'm going through. That's all. Just sharing with y'all my experiences. But when I come back, I got to stand up for 3 or 4 hours. So we're going to get it in then. All right? So may the Most High be praised. Creator willing, we'll see you all back here at 4:30.
Okay, 4:30 is told.
4:30. Aim, I didn't hear anything from you yet, Aim. We good with that, Aim? All right. I guess, yeah. All right. Shalom, family. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom, beloved.
How you doing?
Mishpachah.
Shalom.